Ulonka tabati yada to ye ko madaifa. Ino to ye ko je love baby pa. Oba tala, oba takutakun. Songo eshu, ogun oya osun. Kini sheshe, tan she nile yo. O jalo jara.
Alafia, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Welcome to another episode of the African Spirituality Experience. I'm your host, Orisha Bami, and tonight we're joined by Orisha Stone back in the building. Brother Orisha Stone, man, peace and blessings. Alafia, peace and blessings to you, bro. What's good with you?
Man, peace and blessings to the guys. Peace and blessings to the guys. Glad to be back. I know we've been tapping into a couple of things and we've been all over the place, but I'm glad to go ahead and get back on this mental health thing with you.
Nah, we ain't been all over the place. We've been right where we're supposed to be in divine time and divine alignment, man. And that's how it be. You know? Yes, sir. So, and with that, tribe, y'all hold a little grace for your boy. We had to kind of pivot a little bit because there was a change in plans with a couple of different hurdles that came up that we always, figure out a way to jump over and run through, and that's what it is, and that's what it be, and that's what we're gonna make it do what it do. So with that, peace and blessings, Chloe Dior. Appreciate you for joining us, Queen. And but yeah, bro. So with that, man, we're gonna go ahead and make this thing do what it do by improving, and that's what that's what happens in life. In life, when you get curveballs, you got to be ready to time the bat to hit that thing, man. Like because a curve don't mean it can't be hit. And so we're gonna hit this show and switch it up because it was like another conflict of schedules, which in show business you got to know how to do that thing, man, because you got to know in show business, boy, things gonna come up to try to make a yes that was supposed to be into a no, and we're gonna make it do what it do and continue the show, and the show gonna ride, and the tribe gonna ride too, man. So with that, bro, first and foremost, before we get into it, shout out to, we had, I think, 2 or 3 new members that joined the community the last live that you and I did. So shout out to the new tribe members. Welcome to the tribe. Shout out to all the past guests, because I was just thinking, y'all, and this is something me and you ain't even talk about, but I meant to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it now because Spirit gave it to me. We knocking on a milli, fam. We knocking on a milli. I think we about 970,000 views, man. So listen, this week I'm going hard. I was telling bro, I'm like, yo, I'm going hard this week because I took some time off. Spirit sat me down, but I'm back. I'm ready to go. And like, I ain't stopping. It's been a couple of different pivots, what I'm saying? A couple of different audibles, but I'm like, yo, I'm like Peyton Manning out here. We're going to call these audibles on the play, what I'm saying? At the line of scrimmage, and we're going to, switch it up and make it do what it do. And that's how we're going to do it. But I need y'all to help me hit that milli. Try it, like, for real. We need to hit that 1 milli, like Lil Weezy said, a milli. So with that, man, listen, we're gonna do that, and then shout out to you, bro. I've been getting a lot of good feedback for the last one we did. Like, people was like, yo, bro was going in, you know what I'm saying? Shout out for the pieces too. Got some new pieces that bro sent me that I already got a couple dibs on a few of them. And then with that, bro, this is something that we were supposed to do a while back that didn't happen, but the way Spirit works, you know what I'm saying? Everything happens in divine time and divine alignment, you know what I mean? So we're gonna tap into the divine mind, and then how we can use, you know what I mean, your specialty, your expertise with the crystals and the stones in regards to the mind's eye and like mental health, you know what I mean? Because that's something that a lot of people I feel like are dealing with right now, as far as with the economy, with what's being shown, you know what I'm saying, in the masses of the medias and all that foolishness or whatever. So it's like now is the time where, we want to tap into that and see how the crystals, and the stones can help us kind of keep that frequency flowing, with the divine mind and mind's eye, to elevate the consciousness and elevate the mind's eye, to not let these low vibrational frequencies that we see, going on in the globe and around the world right now. But at the same time, it's a lot of events going on around the world too, bro. Did you see the I think it was like some blood, not blood, but like some red like almost not river water, but like melted ice water flowing up there in Antarctica. Did you see anything about that online?
I haven't tapped into it, man. I haven't tapped into that one yet.
Oh, yeah, that's something I wanted to share, but I ain't have it queued up for this show because we, initially we were supposed to have the other one, but we're gonna figure that out at another time. But shout out to Nkosi. But yeah, bro. So when it comes to what we got going on, I know you said that you had a few things you wanted to chop it up with the tribe with about announcements, and then we could tap in and make it do what it do.
Well, one thing, man, I want to help your show out since you've been helping so many different people out. Let's help your show out. let's do a giveaway, man. I want to do a giveaway. And I want to start something that I think can be real big. You know, so hey, nobody else is doing it right now. We're gonna be the first ones to do it. I want to run a poetry show. This coming up Friday on my channel. Right, we're gonna do a poetry show. Let a couple poets come spit their thing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe about 10-minute sessions for each poet, and then we're gonna give a free piece away. But at the same time, just like you said, I'm sending a piece to you to sell on hand. I want to take one of those pieces, or I can send you some more pieces and then start singing some people out there that have been supporting and give them a free piece too. You know what I'm saying? So I really want to tap into that and just show appreciation to everybody that's showing us love. You know, so that's Friday. We're doing a little poetry thing. I really want to do that once a week. You know what I'm saying? Putting those we're gonna get back into all our old school things. The same way they said we didn't have no culture. Well, clearly we mostly had the culture because ain't nobody else doing the poetry shows like we used to. Ain't nobody else doing all these different things. And I'm gonna keep trying to figure out different ways to highlight our artists. So yeah, outside of that, I think Thursday I'm supposed to be back on with Rebel Divine, and she's also really excited to get on this show too with our Shade Network and put on for Timbuktu and Emotional Intelligence too. So she's an amazing mental health counselor and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? That's showing what the matriarch can do just for the mind, the healing the mind. So yeah. And then of course, the first one we ever did was dope. And then we got on so many other lives that we never went back to the first one. But back to the basics real quick. I want to get back onto that mental health, especially for our people in general. I don't want to just be like for black people, for black men, but for our people in general. Like we really got to pay attention to this mental health thing that's going on out here right now. You know what I'm saying? So outside of that, man, that's all I have for this week. Of course, I'm trying to get some other big names on there. I'm gonna make my personal business to stop telling y'all who I'm gonna bring out there, and just when we pop out, we pop out. So there ain't no disappointments from now on. So
ain't no disappointments though, man. Like I said, it's everything happened for a reason, bro. We talk. Like I said it before we got on the air. I'm like, bro, you know me. I'm gonna talk to you. You know what I'm saying? On air the same way I talk to you off. But I do kind of got to scale a few things back on air because we already know what that is. But you know me, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you all the way, all day, every day, even on leap years, 24/7, 365, 366 on leap years. That's how we get down. But with that though, everything happens for a divine reason in divine time. So it was meant for this conversation to happen because, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't meant for the one that we had queued up to happen. But like I was telling you before we came on the air, this ain't the first time this happened to me. It happened on the podcast too many times to count where I got to reschedule or rebook another guest or whatever the case may be. But I've also dealt with that in real life events where, you know what I'm saying, I've had venues cancel on me literally the day of the event. And still got people who bought tickets or, you know what I'm saying, paid admission to get to the show that I'm not going to let down because I got let down. So I'm going to figure out a way where I'm going to pivot, you know what I'm saying, switch it up. Like I said, call up Audible on the play. What I might have thought was going to be a post route to the end zone, I might switch it up and do a play action, you know what I'm saying? I might mess around and do an option or something. I don't know, but I'm going to figure out a way to get it to the end zone one way or another. And that's what we're going to do tonight.
We most definitely got it. We've been having conversations with. I said we most definitely got it. You know what I'm saying? First off, shout out to Goddess Dior. That was a real like I really appreciate that. I appreciate that comment. Thank you everybody that support. But yeah, the biggest thing we want to do is like we really got to do more community based things. You know what I'm saying? And if we're not doing the physical events, then we're gonna do events online. Like all we gotta do is open our mind, open our third eye, open our imagination. And once we tap into that, like our inner mind, our inner child aspect, we can get back to a whole lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all love poetry out there. I know a bunch of y'all can sing and do whatever. So once we have those positive outlets and we our own network, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they can't really stop what we're pushing. So yeah, God, man. Outside of that, man, what you got on the table?
Well, first and foremost, shout out to the community members that I spoke to today because, like I said, things happen, you know, that come up and put monkey wrenches in place. But we were supposed to have a private community call today, but I had to do some errands. And when I got back to the crib, I had found out I got sent on a new mission that wasn't in the schedule, wasn't in the timeline, none of that. So I had to switch it up and get that done and then come back, you know, to get ready to do this tonight. But we're going to probably do that, I think, Thursday. Thursday night, I believe I'm gonna shoot for the private community call. But then we got, let me see, we got tomorrow, I think, another live, and then Saturday we got the watch party with Professor Kaba for the Nagas and Kemet party, which I still didn't get that set up yet, but I'm gonna get that set up and share it on the channel tomorrow. with the links for that for if y'all want to come through. And then also I'm gonna do a you know how they had a pregame show on the NFL, like, you know what I'm saying, on Sunday. I ain't watched football in a couple of years, but I know they had a pregame show, you know what I'm saying? So they come on like 10, 11 in the morning on ESPN or whatever and chop it up and, you know, get a breakdown of what they think gonna happen in the game. So I'm gonna do that Saturday. I'm gonna have a pre-pod show, a live stream on YouTube, you know what I'm saying, to plant the seeds and to kind of highlight what we're gonna be doing for the real, you know, watch party with Professor Kaba. So with that, family, we're gonna have the watch party. We're gonna watch the Nagas and Kemet documentary with Professor Kaba on hand with us, and then I bought four of the copies of the documentary that I'm gonna raffle off to the tribe. You know what I'm saying? So I got 4 of them on me that's free. So for those who show up and those who come to the watch party, I got 4 copies for y'all that I'm gonna raffle off. So the way I'm gonna do that, and I haven't confirmed this yet, but I'm gonna ask Professor Kaba to pick a few numbers, and then you know, whoever calls out those numbers in the comments, they'll get a free download of the documentary. That's on me. That's for me giving back love and support for not only for y'all, you know, the tribe who hold me down, but also for Professor Kaba, for him spending the time that he has with me and, you know what I'm saying, keeping me in under his wing and, you know, and holding me down as well. So with that, we're going big Saturday with that watch party. Looking forward to that. And then, yeah, man, we're going to keep burning it down and making it do what it do, you know, in the meantime.
We just freestyling, right? So how about this? Can you please, before we go too far in any direction, can you please explain how important and who Professor Kaba Kamin is? Why is he so important in the community? Why should we take his book so serious? The Shabaka Stone, the all these different books. Why is he so important in the community? What you know what I'm saying? What kind of work has he put in the community? Who is this man?
Bro, I would dare to say, I'm trying to pull up all the books that I have in physical copy, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I look at him like he's my modern day. That's hard, but I ain't gonna front. I feel like he's like my modern day Malcolm in a sense. He doesn't have his delivery is more calm and laid back and smooth. You know what I'm saying? Like he like Big Boy said, you know, he cooler than a polar bear's toenail, but at the same time, he can cut you up and cut you real deep. You know what I'm saying? With them blades he be spitting, because like the wisdom is so sharp. You know what I'm saying? It's so vast. So it's like, to me, man, I look at him as one of the greatest to ever do it. You know, in regards to those who I've studied, but those who I've had the honor to be able to work with. And I feel like, you know, we got to give our elders, we got to give our freedom fighters, we got to give our revolutionaries, but more importantly, we got to give our teachers their due. Not even just in the conscious community or quote unquote so-called conscious community, whatever you want to call it, but really just in the world. Because without the teachers, like what are we? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing if we don't have teachers? You feel me? So it's like, that's one of them professions that I feel like is extremely underestimated in this part of the world, and in regards to also in this type of system, you know, that we are kind of currently, you know, exposed to or being dealing with. So it's like, we really have to honor and respect and to pay homage to those who are doing what they have to do in order to pay it forward, to give us the baton, you know what I'm saying, to be able to do what we need to do for 7 generations to come. And so with that being said, being able to talk to somebody like him, bro, it's like a dream come true, because I grew up playing basketball. So, you know, I made some bad decisions as a youth that kind of cost me my opportunity to take basketball to the highest level. But I feel like the creator gave me another chance to take being a teacher to another level, you know what I'm saying, like to the next level, to the highest level, which is being someone who can share information, you know, to inspire, empower, and enlighten, you know, others. So him being, I feel like he like the whew, yeah, he like that dude, man. But you know, not for nothing, but we've had so many of those dudes, you know what I'm saying, in this program, on this channel, man. And you know, he's not the only one. So shout out to all those who came through, who laid down, you know, and put down some heavy knowledge, heavy wisdom, understanding, overstanding, understanding, understanding for the sake of the greater good, and did it with love. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, we see a lot of people who want to bash our teachers, who want to bash our influencers and kick them when they're down. And I'm sure the tribe definitely knows some of the people that I'm thinking about. We know there's a major one going on in the entertainment industry. We also know there's a major one going on in the so-called influencer or consciousness community, you know, where I feel like I ain't justifying or condoning what, you know what I'm saying, some of these people are being, you know, I feel like, you know, what do they call it, being mobbed with in the internet streets. But at the same time, I definitely want to push the narrative as to why we as a people feel comfortable with kicking other brothers and sisters who look like us, who are at least attempting to do the work to empower us. Why do we feel like it's okay to kick them right down? Now, one of them, they're in a different industry, entertainment industry. That ain't, you know what I'm saying? And the other one is in the space that we in, and they made some decisions that, you know, people question them. But I say all that to say, like, we got to support, love, unite. United we stand, divided we fall, you know, and rock with each other. That's how I see it.
I'm glad you brought that up though, because as far as him, yeah, it was definitely we got to support. But the last part you said really caught me. Can you repeat the last part when you were saying about how just say that whole last part again for me, because you said something and I caught it, and I don't want to let that part go.
Which part? About kicking people when they're down?
Yeah, that part.
Yeah. I feel like we've been programmed as a people or as a culture to almost transmute or transform into being vultures. And you know what vultures are? Vultures are birds, or, you know what I'm saying, animals that feed off of death. They feed off of carcasses decaying, you know what I'm saying, of life forms that are decaying, that are no longer, you know, spiritually or energetically within that, you know, body or whatever you want to call it. But at the same time, I feel like that's something that's not naturally, it's not native to us as a people. That's something that I feel like we've been programmed with, or something we've been influenced by, that we're taking on. Like, that's liability behavior that it really ain't our liability. You know what I'm saying? Like, because culturally, and you and I have talked about this, and me and multiple other guests, and shout out to a couple of them I spoke to today. But culturally, regardless of you claiming America or you claiming Africa or wherever you claiming, I'm claiming the universe. So, but wherever you claiming, while we on this planet, on this tour, whatever you want to call it, culturally, we are not people who are about bashing and tearing down, you know what I'm saying, and like fucking over each other. Culturally, no matter what part of the planet that you live on, we are people who organically, I feel like universally, we ride with each other, you know what I'm saying? We hold each other down from a tribal perspective, culturally. However, there are other entities that I feel like are controlling the narrative of the media that influences the mind, body, and souls of our people. And I ain't even talking about just melanated people, I'm talking about people on the planet in general. So if you don't have the wherewithal, or you don't have the ability to receive the call, or the ear to hear the call when higher consciousness or higher frequency or higher, you know what I'm saying, deities are communicating with you, then you can fall, you know, victim to being influenced by the narrative of the masses, that the masses, you know what I'm saying, have been programmed for. And I was just talking, I have another conversation earlier today too, and I was talking about Malcolm, about how how powerful the media is. Because in the media, Malcolm said it best. He about to move to the honorable ancestor, but he was like, you know, the media will have you thinking your best friend is your enemy, and then have you thinking that your enemy is your best friend. Like, and that's real talk. Because think about how powerfully the media has influenced, you know, the narrative of people, especially in America, about people that look like us. Think about that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, then you meet people who might be of other races or other descent, that when they chop it up with you, they might have never had an exposure to anybody that looked like you or anything like you in all their life. But then when they do, oh, I was thinking this was that, that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that for a fact because elders have told me, and I've heard it myself. But you never took the time to want to know, or you were just indoctrinated and programmed to, you know what I'm saying, think a certain type of way.
I'm going to get into it. One, you said how people hate on the other elders, especially the elders that can't defend themselves back. And hating is emotion. So we're going to write that hate down, right? Because you're hating on an elder that can't fight back. And I can name a couple of them, but we don't want to give any kind of free publicity. But in that hate, that's an emotion. And I think that's when we talk about mental health. One, but you also said entertainment. So it can be either mental health or entertainment. We're going to take those two routes, or maybe both. I say that to say, when you got these so-called entertainers, or that because they realize they can't make it in the so-called rap career. So what they do is they would take a shots at people that had a great following of men because of their body, their mind, and their body of work. That's the Bobby Hemmings, that's the Dr. Deborah Blairs, that's the Malika Yorks. And you got a bunch of pretty much cornballs that hide behind spirituality that it make it sound good. But anytime you have somebody that's spreading hate or speaking hate, they can't be no real leader. There can't be no real chief. If you ever heard anybody say anything about Bobby Hemmett or anything, while this man wasn't here to defend himself, these aren't your chiefs. These aren't the leaders. These are mental health patients, and these are entertainers. And that's what they need: clicks, views, cash ups, etc. That's why they talk as much as they talk and never tell you anything beneficial. First of all, so hating is emotion. So what we don't do, like I said, once people expose themselves, like there's no way if somebody exposed yourself after 2020, everybody had perfect vision. So when people expose themselves and they try to use hate to get themselves up or entertainment to get themselves up, and they don't have no emotional control, they trying to pull that sonnet on us and make everything a drama show. Then no, you got to cut them out, because now they've really gotten to the whole thing of entertainment and just trying to entertain you, and we're not even that's not our the culture isn't about entertainment. Everything about us was ritual. Even the dance was ritual. Everything was ritual. So hate is one of those things that I think we should talk about as far as mental health as well. You know, Tree? Yo, the devils.
Yes, sir. Yeah, no, I'm here. I'm gonna tell you. You know what? I'm a respectfully. I ain't gonna say disagree, but I'm a intentionally switch lanes. Only reason because like I said, like I don't believe in giving energy to things that I don't, I don't rock with, I don't fuck with. So like just be keep it a buck, because I look at it like this. Let's use dogs. I'm a dog guy, right? If I'm walking my dog, I'm walking him through the neighborhood, I'm walking him down the street or wherever. He's walking in a space that he just trying to get out here and absorb some sun, just get some cardio, just just be out the house, just to be in nature, like just to absorb life and the experiences of life, right? He ain't paying no attention to them fleas that's trying to jump up on him, that's trying to feed off of him, that's trying to eat off of him, that's trying to live on him, that's trying to literally be a squatter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, something that doesn't really have any type of asset abilities or any type of like contributions to his experience to live off of him. He ain't paying no attention to that. He's just walking. But the beautiful thing about that is I give him a treatment for prevention once a month that if they do jump on him, he ain't paying no attention to them. But if they do and they bite him, because of the prevention that I give him once a month, they're going to die because they're eating poison. Like he has what he's immune to in his blood, but it's toxic to them. It's going to kill them. So I look at that the same way I look at Ashe and E-Ray and positive energy. Like, yeah, we moving through, you know what I'm saying? We moving through the internet streets and all that, but I ain't paying attention to them fleas. They parasitical. And I'm not gonna let them feed off of me, especially because I know they're there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so the less that I pay attention to them, the more I can enjoy my experience, and the more my experience is going to enhance or influence or expand into building up or empowering others, you know what I'm saying, based upon the fact that I'm not paying no attention to that because it's a low vibrational frequency and it's parasitical. You know what I mean? So, but what I will say too, though, is that what we're doing what we came here to do, what we were sent here to do, and we're doing it for those who we were born to serve, and they're giving us back, you know what I'm saying, reciprocity. Because for me, I feel like every time we on these lives and we got, a nice crowd in here tonight, we pouring into the people. We pouring into the tribe, we pouring into the universe. And it's like, it's for those who have the ears to hear and those who have the eyes to see. And if you ain't one of those two groups, you ain't really a factor to me. Like, that's how I look at that. You know what I mean? Because that's never going to change. It's the laws of polarity. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have the universe with all that dark matter and dark energy without having those stars to come and, create light in certain segments of the universe, which is vast and infinite. So I look at it like, if anything, you know what I'm saying, we creating the light. We creating a lighthouse that was supposed to happen for those who were supposed to be invited to that lighthouse.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, man. That, like I said, the thing right now is triggers. When we're talking about mental health triggers and stuff, like you said, the lighthouse and trying to find safe spaces. That's another reason I keep talking about the events and you're showing everything else, because this mental health thing it's crazy, man. Everybody's going through pressure right now. The sun is boiling, all sorts of. The world is under pressure right now, and we got it. And to be honest, we got under pressure. Think about it. We're under pressure, and a lot of people over here breaking. But think about it, we still got it better than anybody else in the world right now. If you think about it, you know what I'm saying? We still got it pretty damn good. So you got to look at it like that. Always look at it like any day above ground is, you know what I'm saying? Any day above ground is a blessed day. You know what I'm saying? So, Yeah, man, just staying grounded and looking at and having appreciation and discipline in life, having discipline and understanding. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna keep saying the same thing over again about emotional intelligence. I'm learning more about this my damn self. But as we're learning it and just trying to stay grounded and everything else and staying out of people's way, um, learning how to respond and responses is important. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a real thing. You know, it's funny because before we got on here, I was saying like how, you know, when we had the play switch up on us and we had to call another player, like, nah, it's all good, bro. Like, because we never talked about the emotional intelligence and the mental health conversation that we were supposed to have. But then I was sharing with you too that something that I was supposed to be doing with the private community, I'm gonna share, you know, with the tribe collectively because, you know, this has been on my mind for spirit. But you know, with that being said, I did a consultation for the tribe yesterday, and those who are in the Ifa Isheshe tradition know, you know, the days of the week. Each day of the week represents a different day for a different, you know, cause and a different set of energy. And so yesterday was Ojo Aj Day, which is mostly attributed to the mothers, you know what I'm saying? Like the feminine energy, the spirit of wealth, the spirit of prosperity, the spirit of abundance, the spirit of, you know, revenue, you know, the marketplace, success, you know what I mean? Like, because the mothers, they give that, the IJ especially. And so, you know, I divined on it, but I divined for the tribe and for the community. And the Odu that came was Ejiogbe Meiji, and it came in Ire Isagun, right? So when that came up, that was a powerful message because, you know, for those who are in the tradition, Ejiogbe is a very powerful Odu, actually the first Odu that comes up in the divination of the 16 major Odu. And so with that coming in Ire Isegun, that stands for goodness and victory. It stands for harmony. It stands for, you know, being able to achieve and overcome, you know, going through challenges, but overcoming, you know. And so it was very powerful to me because it's like this is a signal of a very powerful time of transformation. And it speaks to, you know, the community as a whole, you know, standing up throughout, you know, all these different types of adversities, all these different types of challenges that are coming about, you know, throughout our experience on the planet right now. But also it's giving us the signal that we have the ability and we are on the path to experiencing victory, you know, and also within harmony, you know, that it's within reach. And so we can create that experience by just moving in a sense of moving with Iwa Pele, with balanced character, with good integrity, and also, you know, saying having positive intentions and being upright and, you know, and righteous. So that Odu speaks to, you know, all together moving collectively with clarity, you know, by embracing each other with unity and also acting with ethical alignment, you know, with our purpose. And then when we do that, we also go back to working with our Ori. You know what I'm saying? Our Ori is our mind's eye. So that within itself ties into how this was a conversation that was supposed to happen months ago. It wasn't supposed to happen tonight, but because things changed and switched up on us, it's happening organically, you know, exactly divinely how it's supposed to be. So I say all that to say, taking what we talked about with, you know, was having these private community calls with me doing what I do, but also bringing in your element to the fold. We're talking about the crystals. So when it comes to your world, you know what I'm saying, your corner of the universe, where do you see how you can share with the tribe some of the best crystals that would be beneficial in regards to mental health or beneficial in regards to like overcoming um depression or overcoming, you know what I'm saying? Like all the things that some people are dealing with today. Like, what are some of the best crystals that we can use when it comes to like developing the ability to kind of move through that adversity, kind of like that Odu?
you know what? I was saving this one for when we did the Patreon, but I'm glad you asked me that because last time we did the live, the brother was asking about what's the best stones for protection.
Yep,
And
yep.
we got to get up into it because we were so packed and we had ran like 3 hours. So I'm running now. When we said that about what kind of protection, there's different spells for certain things.
Right.
So case in point, sometimes we're thinking, we say the scientific word for it now is mental health. Back in the day, we would say possession, right? So certain so-called mental health are possession, were they not? And you know about all sorts of different things, jinns, all sorts of different things that can ride you, spirits, whatever, whatever. So first things first, I would say, let me see, because I was actually saving this for your Patreon. But I'm gonna go ahead and hit that shuttle vote for you one time. Kyanite. Kyanite is a good one because you can cut all spiritual cords from anything that's trying to connect to you, like strings trying to connect to you, whatever, from spirit or spirit realm. Kyanite. it's a spirit blade, and it cuts through those cords. So you're supposed to set the kyanite at 4 corners of your home, and it cuts through all demonic cords or any kind of cords that are not your own and not of your own want. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm gonna show this off a little bit later too. So thank you for the love. Also, there's another stone, and I'm just naming some stones off top. Hematite. Hematite is one of those stones, but hematite has so many different. But hematite keeps you grounded and keeps certain things away from your mind. You see what I'm saying? We're talking about mental health. You need mental clarity for mental health so you can see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of stones right here. There's a stone. Let me see. You can say black jade. Most of those blacks are for shadow work. So, and now that's even, like I say, that you would also have the emotion. You need the emotional intelligence to know that you need to do shadow work.
Oh yeah.
So it all goes back to the basics and everything else. These stones might not mean nothing to you whatsoever if you haven't done the bare minimum basics of your knowledge or having the knowledge yourself and knowing what's going on. So if you know and you want to change, that's where it starts. You know about yourself that you want to change. This shit is not normal that's going around us right now.
Yeah.
Now, how do you change on that? Amethyst, of course, for the third eye. We said all these different things the other day. So I don't want to just sound rhetorical about saying it, but
say it, bro.
Yeah.
Because some people that's here today might not have been there the other day. You know what I mean? And you know, so let it go.
Amethyst is an amazing one because one, as they say, it's good for depression. That's literally was the main things for depression and stopping people from addictions. So that might be one form of mental health or possession. So you would want amethyst for those possessions, or with a kyanite to cut cords. There's a angel stones. Anything that has angel wings or angel hair in it protects you from outside forces. So like I said, when you say mental health to me, I really look at that they're being possessed from an outside force. So
yeah.
Black jade, Tektite blocks energy vampires. And you know this for yourself. I mean, you know this for yourself. Back in the day, what did people do? They'll tie knots and do different things in juju. And what's the result? You're hearing voices. So how do you reverse that? How do you block it? These are the stones that were prescribed to block those said things. People send the evil eye at you. I mean, you know what I'm saying, or do something to you. You need certain stones certain stones I don't even talk about because they can send whatever they send at you, you can send it back to certain people 7 times. But that's not for everybody to know which stones those is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the biggest one I would say is kyanite, because if it is an attack on your mental or your spiritual soul, you're cutting. You put it around 4 corners of your house. You bury it around your the 4 corners of your house, and then it's supposed to cut all outside forces off of you. You know what I'm saying? That's that stone boundaries and everything else that they used to do back in the day. But of course, black kyanite is the best. But these are like I said, anything with so-called angel feathers or angel hair, rutilated quartz, kyanites. There's other stones I can't even pronounce, but they literally got the cross in them, like star sapphires, etc. They have a cross in them. That cross is really where they start getting that whole ideology of the cross being as powerful. And they say it's for the Christ. But it was even that cross is even older than the Christ. You see what I'm saying? Now, angels and demons or mental illness or whatever, jinns or whatever you want to call these things, right? They're not scared of guns or swords or loud talking, none of that. They're scared of light and they're scared of spiritual weapons. And these spiritual weapons that's what they were always designed to do. Now, outside of that, we got to change the way we eat.
Yeah.
If we're talking about minerals, let's talk about the minerals we put in our body and the minerals we're not putting in our body.
Yeah.
So of course, sea moss draws out a lot of different toxins and stuff and bad unwanted metals and stuff out your body. So peace blessings to the tribe. So sea moss, and like I say, because it's not one thing, but all these things are talking about minerals. So technically we are talking about the same thing. So next thing we got to do is start talking about eating right and getting our minds right, fasting, because once you fast, you start thinking a little bit better. So
that's facts.
Yeah, that's what I can think of right now for of course, like I say, black jade, black tektite, but you would have to be on a higher level of understanding to even get to that level of even knowing to do with stone. If we're at the bottom bare minimum basics and we're trying to figure out our mental health, is knowing I want to change myself. And the first thing you do is when they say knowledge yourself, start eating right. sea legit. If you're familiar with sea legit, that helps your brain flow. Reishi mushroom. Well, you know what? I think that's why I said we were supposed to be talking about the Patreon. But
Yeah. We good.
You can do research on reishi mushroom, and different kind of things that help your brain flow.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Before you even get to the psychedelics and all these other things, but all these are still minerals. All these things are still from the earth. And once you cleanse yourself and fast and everything else, you open up your third eye, like you said, your mind. So like a lion's mane, all these different things can help us get to another one. Oh, I'm gonna tell you, and this is gonna sound crazy, right? How herbs can help our mental health. It's
That ain't crazy. No, that's not crazy to me.
ashwagandha root.
Yeah,
Ashwagandha root. Yeah, I do. And if I don't, sometimes I'll be kind of depressed, and sometimes I'll be unmotivated. Sometimes I'll be kind of, because you know what I'm saying, we're fighting against a whole lot of stuff, and we're not putting the stuff in us that our ancestors put inside of our bodies. So the first thing I say is, before we jump to the stones, start on what are we putting in our body. You know what I'm saying? Water. We need water. We need like I don't mean to sound cliche because everybody's told you before, but you don't need just water. You need coconut water. You need watermelons. You need all these different things. You know what I'm saying? So once we tap into that and start cleansing your body, cleansing your brain, fasting, getting away from certain meats in general, and nobody's perfect. Like first off, stop pork. We should all, by 2025, should nobody be eating pork. Next, we could really cut back from red meat. Stop going to these people restaurants. These people restaurants are killing y'all. Yes, everybody got somebody that works in their family that works in a restaurant. Each one of these restaurants can sell you a steak, or sell you a steak that's in certain kind of liquids to keep it red. You know, if you go kill a bull, that meat ain't gonna stay red.
Yeah, preservatives and all those types of mostly preservatives, but there's some other stuff I forgot what they call. But yeah, that's real.
Friday night, go to anybody's restaurant. Go to the Texas Roadhouse. Go to the Olive Gardens. You can look online and see that this stuff is killing you. You see what I'm saying? But so it's hard to say we want to change and then we still eating the same way we eating. You're not going to change because it's stopping your brain. It's stopping your brain flow. It starts, not just mention your heart flow, but your brain flow, and that's what you really want. Your consciousness. You know what I'm saying? That's when we start talking about doing things to help declassify your third eye. So we, you know what I'm saying? We talk about mental health. It goes way deeper than, and then like I said, it also starts with community, sound frequencies. I saw somebody in the comments say something about the music we listen to, because a lot of this music we listen to, for the men is trauma, for the women is drama, or for and nowadays these men so beta male, they be into the drama too. You see what I'm saying? So everything that's bouncing around is trauma and drama, trauma and drama, trauma and drama. We watch it all day on our TV. We listen to it all day in the music. We're not really tapping in like that. We're not. If you want to go listen to the frequency, go listen to the trees. Go to the springs and listen to the river flow. You know what I'm saying? Go outside and listen to the stars type. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot when it comes to this mental health thing, but it helps once you start acknowledging it. And it takes a little process, but once you take your mental health serious, if you have discipline and take it serious or whatever, it'll go a long way.
Oh yeah.
So
that's real. I say. Now, but you hit a lot of different like I feel like key different elements that ties into that, because first and foremost, like I said, the diet, that's extremely important, because without the diet and then putting in the proper nutrients, we're automatically off balance. Like we're not balanced. We're not the law of Ma'at. We're not Iwa Pele. Like we're not balanced if we don't have proper nutrients, because it's like a car. Like you can't put regular unleaded into a supercar. Like you can't put that in a Lambo, or what I'm saying, a Rari, or any of those supercars. You got to put that premium. And hell, I think the Bugattis, you got to have like jet fuel. You got, what I'm saying, like you got to have a whole little tank and and put into your property to be able to fuel that thing, man, because it moves on a different level. It moves on a different frequency. It moves at a different rate of speed. So just like that vehicle moves at a different rate of speed, what I'm saying, based upon how it's constructed and the fuel that goes into it, the same way our bodies are as well, especially those who are of melanated descent. Like I definitely would encourage looking up the works of Dr. Layla Africa, Ibatanu, who passed away in transition, but his work was powerful, especially when it comes to melanin. Dr. Richard King, who we spoke about multiple times on this channel, is in regards to his work with the third eye or the mind's eye, the pineal gland, and pituitary gland and all that. So it's like the information is out there, but I feel like we gotta like really be intentional with tapping into it. You know what I'm saying? And like bringing it to the forefront to change and make that transformation within our experiences, especially when it comes to mental health. Because even when I talk to the youth, you know, when we talk about emotional intelligence, if you break down the word emotion phonetically, you know, you got E and then you got motion. So when we're not thinking clearly, or we let, you know, bullshit get us pissed off or get us out of our, you know what I'm saying, out of our character or out of our Iwa, it's like that energy goes into motion. It's like, you know what I'm saying? But huh?
My apologies. I can't let that slide because what if somebody? I mean, hypothetically, I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing about nothing. What does Iwa mean?
Iwa means balanced character. You know, good character. Somebody who is, you know, moves with integrity. Somebody who, you know, the word is their bond. Like they're doing everything that they can to be just a stand up, you know what I'm saying, righteous, upright person. Like, you know, nobody's perfect, but when you practice Iwa, shout out to Baba Wally Shabazz, who was on here about a month ago. Shit, he was like, just be a good human being. Like that's what it really boils down to. Just be a good damn human being. To me, that's like
Richard Raw. You know Richard Raw? You heard of Richard Raw?
Richard Raw? I'm not sure I'm familiar with him.
Ooh, bro, come on, man. It's Black August, man. Okay, I'm gonna go and put everybody on real quick.
Look, let me tell you, I ain't gonna act like I know something I don't, bro. That's what I'm here. I'm here to learn too.
You've been around and probably just didn't know it because he's such a humble guy, right? Yes, TV and rap deaf culture. She's absolutely right. So boom, I'm gonna put you on some real revolutionary, liberating music, right? As soon as you tap into Richard Raw and listen to Ashe, that changed my life. Tap into Tahir RBG and listen to his old music and everything else. Those people's music changed my life. You see what I'm saying? So when you listen to revolutionary music, just like she said, it's the music is what we eat. So we got to substitute these things and go back to the natural order of things. When we're talking about Iwa Pele, look up that song from Richard Raw, Iwa Pele. You know what I'm saying? Tap into a high frequency of music too. So to balance harmony, the only way I say, may I.
Yeah, no, that's real, and that goes back to the drums. It was a comment that somebody left about the drums. I think they said they was having dreams about the drums, and they was wondering what that means. But I covered that on another show. But shout out to the tribe who was here on our last show on Sunday, because there was so many questions and so many comments. Like they was going ham. I told you about it after the show. Like, yo, they was going ham, but I couldn't keep up. But it was so many of them that I really wanted to address. But it was just like, you know what I'm saying, the tribe was tribing heavy. But matter of fact.
I'm mad at myself because the brother said protection stones, and I said protection for what, but we didn't get into it, right? So let's like I say, protecting yourself before anything, right? Protect yourself mentally, mind, body, and soul. So whereas the black jade, like if you look up black jade, an amazing protection stone. Tektite, of course, blocks out energy vampires. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you. If you carve your enemy's name on a black tektite and bury it on the four corners, you'll curse them. Hematite is a protection stone. Amethyst protects you in your dreams, but it also protects your third eye. It was a death doula. No, it was a doula in your group last time. But for death doulas, Apache tear is a warrior stone. If you know this story about the Apache, and they say how they sacrificed themselves before they went to bondage, they sacrificed themselves. So Apache tear is good for death doulas, for shadow recall, absorb grief. Now with Apache tears, you can't. It's depending on what your ritual is. Usually after the death doula does whatever they do, they're supposed to bury that stone too. So some stones aren't ain't supposed to just be jewelry. Some stones have purpose, and once you do the purpose, you're supposed to plant it. And after your ritual, most of the time after your ritual, you plant it and leave it. Okay, we on one. I'm gonna tell you another one. Numite. Numite is a very, very powerful stone that bounds darkness.
How you spell that? I never heard of that stone, bro.
Numite is spelled Nummmite.
Okay, I'm about to look that one up. That's what's up.
Now, honestly, you can wear that as jewelry, but let's just say you have a staff, or I don't know where my little staff is right now. If you have a staff or a cane or something, you want to put that Numite on the top of it. It helps you astral travel and protection from it, because like I said, it still has that whole angel wing effect in there. So where you're cutting stuff. So Numite is amazing for astral travel. It bounds darkness. In darkness, anything can be light, right? You know what I'm saying? So let me see. When you're doing rites or when they kind of right, whatever right, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? After the right, when you do it the new mite, you bury that new mite. On that site, you bury that new mite. And that protects from ancient. I don't even want to say demons. There are things that's older than angels and demons. You know what I'm saying? So it protects you from all sorts of energies, and those energies said can be mental health, demons, or parasites, like you said. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's just like I say, that's some of them, and also you talk about the parasites. We're talking about protection or mental health, right? Then let's talk about the parasites. When we're talking about the things you eat, these meats and everything else, they have parasites, and then parasites can make you do a lot of strange things. I know that everybody's looking outside right now. If you don't have an intelligent bubble or circle where you can be out the way, there's a lot of death going on outside. These people ain't eating right. They're not thinking right. It's hot outside. They're not drinking no water. They're not running their brain right. They're running their brain like a car with no oil in it. So when you look at parasites, pumpkin seed, natural things, right? These are like when you get into the hoodoo stuff, it's all sorts of little weird stuff you can do to run parasites out your body. Pumpkin seed, I want to say black
walnut.
Huh?
I said that ain't weird. That's sacred to me. That's sacred technology.
Just eating black pumpkin seed or black walnut, black seed oil every day or every other day or whatever. Start doing that, it'll start running them parasites out your brain. You'll think better. At the end of the day, that's what it's all. We're talking about mental health. We got to work on the brain. Acknowledge that the brain needs work. So yeah, it's mixing all the above, man. You got to mix the stones with it, and then you got to know what to do with the stones. All stones ain't supposed to be jewelry. Some of them supposed to do their job and get buried and everything else. Of course, we already talked about obsidian, how that's blocked spiritually. For the spirit realm, it blocks negative energies coming at you, and it also blocks negative energy like from people because people be possessed by entities.
Yeah,
everybody. Every time you had a job, you've had 1,000 jobs at these jobs. Each one of these jobs, you got into it with the same type of person. It's a different person, but the same energies follows you at each one of these jobs. What is this? What is this energy? It's an entity.
And they call them hitchhikers.
You see what I'm saying? So those stones that we just named cut cords with hitchhikers. Hey, can't live here rent free. So we were talking about that kyanite. We're talking about pneumite. We're talking about black jade. We're talking about tektite. Those are the stones that cut those cords. Hematite seal shadows. So you cut the cord and you seal the shadow. And like I said, after you cut the cord and seal the shadow, and none of that stuff is expensive. Like kyanite's not expensive. Kyanite is like maybe the 4 that you need is probably gonna cost you $10. So but people just get them, and like I say, it's not always just for the jury. Sometimes you got to know what you're doing with in your rituals, and by you already being in the spiritual practice, no matter what you practice, whether it be Ifa or hoodoo or that's one Ifa, hoodoo or pop, whichever one, they know what to do with those stones, and they know when to drop those stones off. You see what I'm saying? And then so outside of that, what else you got?
I'm gonna bring a couple comments up because I saw one. Shout out to Lord of the Flies. He said, believing in fiction, movie programming, and ignoring the only truth is immature. Living an immature existence, calling some random priest father witchery stuff is no good for you. I agree with that, but I'm gonna say this too. I feel like everybody I don't really feel like is immature. I feel like some people, unfortunately, have grown to be a product of their environment. And then with that being said, they might not have had either the confidence or the courage to explore anything that can benefit them outside of the construct in which that they were, raised in, or the environment that they were, that they were nurtured in, like their parents, grandparents, whoever. So I look at it like I agree with it. I wholeheartedly agree with it, but I still feel like some people are blind to the fact of there's a whole nother realm, a whole nother multitude of, multiverses, infinite multiverses or universes, multiverses, etc., that are out there that they probably could fuck around and be a Doctor Strange in there, or the Oracle from the Matrix, or Neo, or whatever, Morpheus, whatever, but they've been constricted by their being a product of their environment, their upbringing, you know what I mean? So the potential could be there, but they just are trying to be in their mind or their life or their journey, like obedient to what they have been taught or what has been, fed to them their whole life. And a lot of people, you know, are scared, bro. Like straight up, like I've given people consultations where I didn't hear back from them. And I don't feel like it was as if the message wasn't right. I feel like the message was probably a little bit too sharp and too clear for them that it scared the shit out of them to like, man, what is this? You know what I'm saying? What is this about? Because me personally, I've experienced that. That was before I ever knew anything about Ifa, Isheshe, Orisha, divination, any of that. I remember I had a barber who was extremely psychic. He had a very powerful gift. And he gave me a consultation that I didn't ask for. You know what I'm saying? I didn't pay for. But he gave it to me. I'm looking at him like, I'm thinking like, yo, I'm almost ready to like, you know what I'm saying, like turn up, like crash out, what the young people say. Because I'm like, yo, was he in my house last night? Like, how the fuck does he know all this? You know what I mean? But in hindsight, now that I fast forward to 2025, I know, you know, different gifts and different abilities that people have, but also I know the power in divination too. So it's like that had me like looking at him like some type of way, but I didn't know how people could have gifts that they can actually, you know what I'm saying, interpret or communicate with much higher level beings or energies or entities, deities, whatever you want to call it. And so it's like some people get shook when they get exposed to a certain level of truth. And I do feel like that's, you know, part of what some of our people are going through. But at the same time, I do feel like a lot of people are ignorant and don't want to learn, you know, or try to elevate to the next level.
But it's funny because it's saying even it's saying the basic instruction for leaving earth, it's saying in the Bible, be careful who you entertain, because those people you entertain might be an angel. Now I'm not the Bible thumper type, but I'm pretty sure they can find that verse somewhere in the Bible where it says, be careful who you're entertaining, because you might be entertaining an angel. So that means just like we got evil spirits that pop up on us, we got angels that pop up on us too, all the way around. Like you might be talking to an angel at any given time, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It grows your stoneworks. I say, Supreme Consciousness, shout out. You always in the building. So
yeah, I be seeing Supreme on your channel, on a bunch of other channels. Like I be tapped in.
love.
Shout out to Big Chief too, man. I got to finish that the last one y'all did. What was it called? Black August?
Yeah. Black August 1. I'm working on Black August 2. I'm really trying to get that out with Tahir RBG. We had some technical difficulties today, so hopefully I can get it done. But man, most definitely trying to get Black August 2 out, which is all those gonna be some. We talking about some real stuff. We talking to the elders, and if I don't get Black August out, you do Black. Like this ain't my thing. This is the revolutionary thing. When they say red, black, and green, don't let these people take everything from us. You know what I'm saying? Red, black, and RBG representing red, black, and green. Red, we already know now. We should know by now that when they talk about red, they're not talking about the blood that's spilled on the ground. They talking about the DNA, the crystallized DNA. We were just talking about the Ogun chain. The red represents the DNA. Of course, the B stands for black. That black being, everybody says, oh my gosh, black is a bad word, except for you came from the infinite blackness. The great mother comes from the infinite triple blackness. Black wasn't a bad word until y'all were scared because they said it was a bad word. You see what I'm saying? So, so red represents the communicating. The DNA is communicating back to the ancestors, back and forth to the ancestors through your DNA. Red, black is the land, is the color of the people that ran the land. Like you said, Kemet means black lands, and green is the we're gonna get back again. That didn't say Africa. That said red, black, and green. That said we're gonna get this land back one way or the other, and revolute like say revolutionary black God. So, and then for that too, we're gonna have a conversation on it. But ruby for the red, or red jasper, black, like I said, you can use any black stone, obsidian, numite, and the green emerald, motivite, or emerald or motivite probably. So that would be the red, black, and green. You see what I'm saying? But that's always been a combination for us. That's not just when you're looking at the Olmecs, they're showing you some of the statues. They're not showing you everything else. They got the pics with the fist on it. You know what I'm saying? They got Olmecs with afros. So that red, black, and green thing has always been around. Like this gonna be our land, always gonna be our land. The land's cleansing itself. We be acting like we got to go out there and do it ourselves. Now everything's gonna happen that was supposed to happen. And when we get the land, what we gonna do with it? Everybody act like they want the land back. But what's gonna happen when we get the land? What we gonna do with it? Are y'all ready to farm? Are y'all ready to work together? That's the biggest thing. Are we ready to work together? You know what I'm saying? Shout out Archangel 7. And most definitely free Malachi Z. York.
Yes, sir.
That's the biggest thing. Are we gonna really work together when we get it? A little THC. Well, that's what we should be growing. We should be growing hemp farms. These people put all these people in prison for THC, and now they're getting rich off it. You see what I'm saying? Anything they think they can get rich off of, So that's just like in the 30s when they took all the gold. Gold was illegal one point in time. Weed is illegal one point. Once we get back into growing our own herbs and everything else and taking over control of these markets, which we got to get more serious about taking over these markets. I'm using clear crystal quartz. She said quartz. And it's an amazing. I slip past folks. I don't want to see me. That's okay. Quartz is most definitely programmable. Now, I've never even thought about it like that, but quartz is most definitely programmable. I use other stones to do exactly what you just said, but yeah, you can do whatever you want. So if that's what you use your quartz for, that's dope.
Yeah.
Because says she uses her quartz to when she don't want to be seen, and Motivate does that same thing. Like people have seen me 1,000 times, and man, I've never seen you before, so it makes you invisible. It makes you invisible for the situations you need to be invisible in. So yeah.
That's deep, bro. Because I had experience in real life where I know I was blessed with some spirit guides, ancestors, deities that cloaked me and made me invisible in a situation that there's literally no rhyme, reason, like whatsoever how the situation went the way it went, besides a supernatural energy being at hand, being present to cloak me with invisibility. Because yeah, it was crazy. But I'll say all that to say that I know that's a real thing, and I didn't even have a crystal. I feel like that was just a blessing of having ancestors who
You had
watch over.
to
Huh?
we talking about your brain and your body and everything else. Everything is crystal. I mean, even though we might not acknowledge it, but your third eye is a crystal. Your
Yeah.
heart chakra, your blood is crystals going in. Like you were talking about the magnetite and all these different things going through your blood, the magnesium. So all these are still minerals. You're still like we act like this isn't you. This is the same. It's made out of the same thing you're made out of. It just had more pressure and millions more years to sit back and think of it.
Yeah,
But
because
in
they're birth form, just like we are.
we're gonna be digging rubies out your blood in a million years. You know what I'm saying? If you think about it, if you die in the however way. So when you're looking at those crystals, we're going back to that mental health, cleansing your brain, or what we were saying, cleansing your third eye, and then seeing the world for what it is, and then understanding that some stuff ain't meant for you to change. You know what I'm saying? What did they tell Neo? You ain't got to dodge it. Shit, once we finish with you, you ain't gonna have to dodge the bullet. You realize the bullet's not there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like the biggest thing right now I'm noticing is a lot of violence out. It's a lot of violence going on right now. It's a lot of good people. Well, it's a lot of people. I ain't gonna say, the universe know what it's doing, but stay out the way, stay grounded. When you say stay grounded, I'm talking about army grounded. I'm talking about grounded, stay grounded. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention to everything. Be as wise as a serpent. Serpent don't do too much talking and gossiping. The serpent just pay attention. They don't even listen. They don't got time to listen to the gossip. They ain't got no ears. But they pay attention to everything. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Yeah, that's facts. And shout out to well, we got a lot of the tribing, so I gotta do what I gotta do to catch up. But shout out to Archangel, been going heavy. Shout out to Archangel. We appreciate your love and support, family. He been going down. And then this is a good question too that I'm gonna bring to the floor. Shout out to Earn a Bud. What's the best foods to break a fast?
Dates, dates or any kind of fruits. But in science wise, one of the things, like I say, when we learn certain things, that's good. Keep those things. But yeah, dates are one of the best things to break fast. Or lime water, dates. That's the best I could think. Yeah, dates. If you said the best.
Boy, them dates must be good, boy, because your eyes lit up like a Christmas tree, boy. When that question came up, like,
when I got my roots reading, you got to sacrifice something. When I got my roots reading, I can't eat dates no more. It was a lot of things I can't do no more. Like I can't do certain things for my bloodline. So dates was one of the spiritual. So but dates are amazing. Dates are super good for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They call it taboo. You found out some of your taboos.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Look, I found out one of my taboos, and I was like, "Oh man!" I ain't gonna say I was disappointed. Like I understand, and understand now. But initially, I was like, I felt a little like, "Oh man!" But I can't wear all black. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of my taboos because Obatala was like, "Nah, you ain't finna be doing all that all black." Black absorbs energy, and so when you work on Obatala, you know what I'm saying? You know what he's about. So it's like, nah, you ain't doing all that. But it's funny to me because the old me, I was heavy in that black, but you know what I mean? That's what growth and transformation, So it's like, you know, we gotta move up and elevate, man. And then shout out to Nubian King. That's a very powerful book. As a matter of fact, shout out to the Nation, because I work with the Nation here locally, and I haven't spoke to him in a little minute, but the email of the local, one of the local mosques that's here where I'm at. We shop it up and build, but one of the things that I love about them the most, bro, is like not only the organization, the structure, the consistency, but when it comes to like the body and it comes to economics, when it comes to, you know, the infrastructure of a community or organization, the Nation's still doing their thing. Like I got to salute, you know what I'm saying? Like shout out, you know, to the Nation, because they still doing their thing. Like it's a real thing. And I would dare to say it. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I wish that a lot of other excuse me, sects or organizations of our people, we can collaborate, you know what I'm saying, work together in unison in the same essence as what the Nation is doing, because they move in a different level, in a different accord than most, I would say, most of the traditions that we as melanated beings, I don't care if you're African American, whatever, Islam and the Muslims that I know of, they're moving in a different way that I gotta, you know, celebrate and salute, because they're moving in a unified front.
They just good. They just better covering it up, big dog. They just better covering it up. That's it. Trust me, I know.
Yeah, but my
Nah,
thing
man.
is this,
When the person
you know,
said the book,
you say, well, you don't air your dirty laundry out to the streets that's going on in the household, though. You know what I mean? So like,
it's been aired out. You just don't listen to gossip, but it's been aired out. But that book that they said, the last book that they put out, was a very good book. So
yeah,
that's also one of the books that I got when that lady, that book, How to Eat to Live, that is a great book, How to Eat to Live. So that's when the lady asked, or the queen asked, how to break your fast. That's where I got the information from, a date or anything like that. But if you read that book, they're gonna have you eating like one time a day. So yeah. But that is actually a good book, though.
yeah. I got several I gotta share too. Comedic books too, like comedic. Some of the diets from the ancient Kemet. Is in regards to like elevation and the frequency, elevation, all that. Shout out to Du Ruante. I still listen to hip hop because I grew up on it. It's balanced, jazz, pop, rock, R&B. Yeah, no, that's real. I agree with that too. Like I listen to Zen music. I listen to Zen music. I listen to I was listening to Dre 3000. Like the flute music or the flute album. I was listening to that type of music years before he dropped that. So when he dropped that, I really was rocking with it. I'm like, yo, I could rock with this because it's frequency. You know what I mean? Like it's frequency. But it said free Rashad Jamal. But yeah, so when it comes to like healing, bro, I want to dive back into like the crystals, because I don't have them all right here like I did the other day because I was prepared for that. But you know, we kind of had to pivot and do an audible on the play. When it comes to the crystals, what are some crystals that we can use for like not just healing and mental health, but also like in regards to like neutralizing the influence of outside forces?
Well, everything that I was telling you earlier, that's what I was saying. All those stones I said earlier was the same thing. Those are the boundary stones.
Gotcha.
So like those already have a spiritual boundary. Like I said, I'm not making it up. This is what the scrolls, the tablets, and all these different things have already set aside for these things. So each one of those stones, I've said before, the kyanites, the hematites, the black jades, the tektites, the obsidians, black tourmalines, all those stones are already designed to do that for you. You know what I'm saying?
I sure. Let me see.
Oh, and they said you can also smoke herbs like lavender, damiana leaf, and sage. It's calming and good for depression. Can be made to a tea if you don't want to smoke, and infuse it with your favorite stones. So yeah. The tea is amazing. If what she just said with the salujet and everything else, that most definitely will calm your nerves when depression, like she said, depression, all sorts of stuff, man. It helps. Like when people be into tea, that's a real thing. So
Yeah, no, that's real for sure. But like I said, it goes back to, you know, knowing thyself. And I think that's one of the things. I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was who was it. It was somebody that was on here that was talking about like how people are like so I guess like attached or so like relying on like the technology, you know what I'm saying? Like the phones, the social media, all that stuff, to where like some people might go crazy if they like sit by themselves without, you know what I'm saying, no interference, like without anything, like any devices, no nothing. Like seriously, like some people would like literally lose their mind. I know that to be a fact because working with the youth and working with young people, and like when I do presentations, I'm like, yo, y'all gotta turn your phone in, like we're gonna put them in a box over here, like none of that. Like they be ready to turn up. Like some of them be ready to crash out because like what? Like it's my
That's
lifeline.
character. He's too far
For real,
gone.
for real.
You gotta pay attention to him. He's a non-playable character. He's too far gone. Being alone by
No,
yourself.
but these are the youth though. We can't not pay attention to the youth though, bro. Like the young, like you know what I mean? Like
you don't think they got non-playable characters? They look like kids.
yeah, I agree.
Hey,
But I'm just saying, like,
I'm
okay.
though.
No. I agree with you, like for real, I really do. But let's just say from a parent's perspective, though, because I know for a fact, like the tribe got children, right? So if their child tells them, like I've seen this before, like I know how some, like not just children either, like grown people, if you take their phone and tell them they can't have their phone, they ready to crash out. I seen that comedy shows where you gotta turn in your phone to go in a comedy show because they don't want you filming the show, and I get that. I've seen grown people like, nah, fuck you, got me fun of it. You know, so like really ready to crash out because they can't be without their phone.
What brings it back to the nice thing, mental health. What brings it back to the nice thing, mental health, because that goes deeper than just anything. You know what I'm saying? Normal. That goes to a whole nother level that you gotta have knowledge of self and be like, damn, is this something I need to be trying to fix type shit? So I don't know, big dog, on that one. Yeah, I think that's a mental health thing.
Or being a product of your environment. Shout out to Lord of the Flies. He got another one. He turned up tonight. But
we didn't get that excuse when they kept on, when we said it when we were young. We said we the product of the environment, and we said mental health counselors and stuff. They were like, no, that's an excuse that you can't use because clearly you don't want to be in this environment, so you want to do better in the environment. So that's why. And it's just weird how some people, when they move away, because a lot of people are Prophet Muhammad, all these different prophets. No prophet is accepted by their own people because they couldn't be a product of their own environment. Their environment ran them away. So a lot of us know that you're the black sheep of the family that nobody really rocked with. They ran you away. You had to leave your hometown and go somewhere else. And so these stories that we call biblical and everything else are just prototypes of what we all going to go through if you're really on that path. And it's just to remind you, because you died and came back and died and came back and died and came back. So you read these stories and be like, oh, this is reminding me what I'm going through now. There's nothing new under the sun. So anything that's going on right now shouldn't surprise anybody. For the kids to still be lost and dumb, knowing that we are in our elder years now, and the elders are in their elder years, what can happen to these kids now that we don't see coming from a mile away? Everybody want to be indigenous. Everybody want to be an Indian, but they ain't got that Hawkeye and see some shit a mile away. You see what I'm saying? Everybody want to be Indian, but they ain't got that Hawkeye or that, you see what I'm saying? That falcon eye to see something from 1,000 miles away and realize that this is a threat to my nest. This is a threat to my kids. So number one, we need to take this shit serious. You talking mental health, then take your kids out of school because that's where you need to fix it. Like our kids are not supposed to be in these people's school system. Teach your kids so they understand how emotional intelligence and everything else. Teach them the real virtues of life. Because if you're sending your kids to somebody else to teach them, then you are already losing. That's mental health on your part. So yeah, man, it's a lot of responsibility need to be took. But once you start taking any, like the universe say, if you take one step towards whatever you want, it'll take 2 steps back to you. You see what I'm saying? So it's just the initiative. It's just the discipline, initiative, and appreciation to acknowledge that you ain't got it as bad as everybody else got it. So you can just improve your situation. You don't have to do everything. Bro, you have a cell phone. That same cell phone, you can look up how to make it. Bro, right now, people are having mental health breakdowns because they don't have any money, right? But did we not go through the same thing in 2008 or the Great Depression? How many times you not used to having money by now? Money come and go literally.
Yeah.
So are you serious? Are you having a mental breakdown over some money? Then you the weakest. You the weakest of us. If you listen, once a month the bills got to get paid, light got to get paid, all that right there. So that shouldn't be a new mental health thing to be on nobody's no psyche. Especially if you, even as a child, you can't say this is break you down because you saw your mother and your father paying these bills. So nah, man, a lot of stuff people are putting extra stress on themselves. Relax. Like it's not as bad as it could be. It's not as bad as it could be, man. That's the stone you need, some stone of appreciation. Find a stone that you can appreciate that it's not as bad as we put on. They got us manifesting that shit go bad because we over here like, oh man, life is bad. Free Palestine. Oh man, you done picked up everybody's war but your own. We done picked up and don't you know that everybody's war is putting some kind of trauma on your brain, whether you know it or not. You trying to fight everybody else's war. Free them people, free them people. Oh, don't chase them people down and take them people back home. Them people don't got it. They ask none of these people that you fighting for right now, but you putting out the extra stress and build up, and half of us ain't got fighting these battles at all. They got us fighting way too many battles. You see what I'm saying? We don't understand what post-traumatic stress, PTSD. We don't really understand what none of it is. So not just know that self, focus on that self. Not just know that self, focus on that self.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
No, I said, yeah, no, that's facts. And shout out to I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, family. Durante. But yeah, I agree with that. Facts. You ain't got to be perfect to be genuine and be righteous. My motto is like I'm never going to be perfect, but I can strive to give a perfect effort. You know what I mean? Like because when my pops told me, if you got a belly button, you ain't perfect. You know what I mean? I agree with that. So
they get that perfect from the lies, bro. Everything we said the last time from schools that the school system should have been teaching us and not teaching us. That perfect shit is an illusion. All this bullshit we talking about, these standards that they talking about, this shit don't exist. You talking about being perfect and being like who is your model of perfection that you're trying to be like?
Yeah,
because I know you're not talking about any of these fake entities that they're creating. I know you're not talking about Yahshua or Jesus or I know you're not talking about none of these. What is the measurement of perfection? You see what I'm saying? What do we like? We'll never win because we're using the oppressor's eyes against each other, and that's gonna fuck up your mental health. You're using the eyes of how they're measuring us. That nigga, or get him. That one right there, he's tall. That one right there, you know what I'm saying? You were talking about you were in basketball, and you made bad decisions, got you out of basketball. What if the universe didn't want you playing basketball? Because how many intelligent sports people do you know?
Well, there's a lot of them, but some of them, you know,
man, football
they're
players,
not living in their path.
5 seconds to pass a black wealth to giving that wealth right to these white people.
Say again.
Those people from college, those people that in sports and everything else, be the first one to transfer so-called black wealth. As soon as they hit their pocket, they go give it to the white people. They go give it to the white jewelry stores. They go give it to white businesses, and they go get married with a white woman or play with a white girl. Shout out, what's his name? Because he sure has been now. Shannon Sharp. What's the other one? Each one of these Cain the Conqueror. What they say? It was all good just a week ago. We was laughing about it just last year with Cat Williams, but that college thing, the sports thing, all that is fake, bro. That whole image of college and going to their school system and being a goddamn dummy. How many of these football players and basketball players and all these people under contract have this sad story about them being broke and you still working the same job you were working when they went into whatever league they went into, and when they got out the league, you're still sustained, you're still stable. So yeah, they said some fire in there. They said chlorophyll most definitely. Yeah, it was a couple of them that got past me, but chlorophyll most definitely. Chlorophyll is one of the most definitely magic herbs. Get into that. Walnuts, black walnuts for sure. Baking soda and baking soda most definitely. Body jumping, the falling. Yeah, man. A lot of things we're looking at things through the eyes. Guard your energies. Burn your sage and frankincense and myrrh. Yes, ma'am. I say. Females absorb energy. Exactly. We were talking about this the other day when they said females absorb energy, and then pass it to their. That's what we're talking about. That they absorb energy just from the Wi-Fi breaker. That means the Wi-Fi breaker is EMF, electromagnetic frequency, is affecting the women. That 5G tower is affecting because they do absorb anything. They're supposed to be somewhere in nature, relaxing, chilling, being in nature, tuned into nature. When you see these goddesses out there walking around barefooted, going around the springs and all this, they're tuning into nature. So yeah, no, most definitely they absorb those energies. So when life feeds me so-called demons, I make demon aid with the quickness. I'm telling you, this dude stay hungry.
Listen, like, yeah, try to bear with me, man. I'm so far behind. I'm trying to keep up, but they going ham, which we love. You know what I mean? Like, we appreciate the love and support. But yeah, like, so with that, bro, we got a lot going on upcoming this week, and so like I said, we had a curveball thrown, and we had to come in and still do what we do and make it happen. But when it comes to kind of like following up where we was at last night, I should say Sunday night, we was going ham with the crystals and the stones and all that. When you gave your top 5, and I remember, like, it was funny to me because it was a dope question. I remember saving that question too. I can't remember who asked it, but I remember I started when I saw it, I'm like, yeah, I got to start this. I got to make sure I ask this one. But one of the things that I remember, like, when you were answering the question, I could see, like, the let me see, what's the word to use? I could see where you was going back and forth, like deliberating between yourself, like within, your inner self, like back and forth, like, okay, should I say this, that? Because I knew, based off of how I could tell you was trying to figure out the best way to answer it. Not that you couldn't, but I could tell you wanted to answer it based off of that specific person. Because to me, that's just like an Odu, that's like a consultation, that's like a prescription, a ebo, whatever you want to call it. That's not a uniform thing. That's something that's literally is given to you, specifically for you, precisely for you, just like your fingerprint. Like, nobody else on the planet has that fingerprint that you have. Nobody else. I don't give a shit if you twins. Nobody else has it. So that's the same thing I would say that I felt like you was like battling with in regards to answering the question, because you know the stones and the crystals on another level. Like, I could say that when it comes to spirituality. I could say that when it comes to a lot of other things. Stones and crystals are not my forte thing that I could say that with, but I saw the energy. So with that, because I know that show made a lot of impact with a lot of different people, let's go back into that. And then if you want to give us like a top 3 or top 5 crystals and their use cases, you know what I'm saying, as to regards to how people can use these crystals from like a general, you know what I'm saying, standpoint, versus something that has to be specifically prescribed, you know what I'm saying, directly for a person. Because I even remember you saying, like, depending on your gemstone or your birthstone or whatever month you was born, all that, there's certain crystals or stones you shouldn't rock with because it can cause catastrophe. You know what I mean? So with that, before we get out of here, can you kind of share like a universal, top 3, and then also how people can maybe, what's the best way for people, to figure out what crystals or stones align with them and their journey and how they could use those stones?
Okay, yo, that's a deep one. So, but okay, I'm
time,
getting,
bro.
yeah.
Nah, because like I said, you know me, I go off spirit, bro. Take your time, and you know what I'm saying, because I feel like there's a lot of people who might want to know this information.
When we go back to birthstones, right?
Mm-hmm.
And say zodiac stones, but we also know that the so-called zodiac was been tampered with greatly.
Oh yeah.
So when I say birthstones, I'm looking at the energy of a stone during that season. Now, that season might change, just like Easter changes every year in some kind of weird way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But these stones do this too, energetically wise. So, damn, I'm trying to find. But that same calendar that they're saying that they got the zodiac from, right?
Mm-hmm.
That calendar wasn't their calendar. People got to realize that they can't create anything. So when we say that Caesar created and all these different Roman people created the calendar, they got the calendar the same way they got the story about Jesus. They got it from ancient Kemet. They got it from Isis or the temple of the deer. We were just talking about that. And when the brother comes, he's going to give you some receipts on there. So that goes back to the original calendar. So your zodiac might not be what you think it is, but the construct is still there. There's really only 4 zodiac signs. You have fire, air, water, and earth, right? Because a Cancer ain't nothing but a Scorpio without a tail, right? You see what I'm saying? Whereas each one of the signs, think about it. A Leo is just a laid back Aries. You see what I'm saying? A Leo is just and each one is going their own race. That's why you have cardinal signs. So when you look at what you are, your spirit symbol, let's just break it down to the bare minimum basics. Are you fire element? Are you water element? Are you earth element? Are you air element? So we don't get caught up into their lies, because I would have to really break down the different things about the zodiac, because these zodiacs ain't what we think they are. So I might say simply, you're this, But even with saying I'm Aries, that's saying there's an Egyptian. The reason they got that is from this other deity that's like the Aries, but that's not Aries. They use Aries name from one of their fake gods. Anybody can look at the stars and just saying, "Oh, this looks like this. This
Right.
looks like that." But when you're, if a lot of people don't realize it, when we talk about dirty Moors and stuff like that, the reason we're talking about dirty Moors is because when they're talking to you, as soon as they're talking to you about some paperwork or nationality or some shit like that, automatically disqualify that nigga. He shouldn't be talking. Because when you're really talking Moors, the first thing they would ever tell you about is the astrology and how to map out everything. That's really what Moor science is all about, mapping out the stars. So I just say that to say it's like damn, what was the initial question on it?
Well, it was two, but the first part, well, I'll say it was a 2-part question. So the first part was I was pretty much like going back to like when we had the last one on Sunday, like when I asked you what was your top 5. Matter of fact, I don't even think it was me. I think it was somebody in the, actually it was the brother I think that was asking about protection. I can't remember his name, but I want to say it was him. But anyway, he was saying like, what would be your top 5 crystals, you know what I'm saying, to recommend to people. And so what I did, I just took, like I was telling you earlier, I just took what Spirit gave me, and it was like, that was a generalized question. And I could tell how you was going back and forth within your mind, like how you wanted to answer it, because I know that you was like, yo, this ain't something that every person is going to be able to use the same 5, you know what I mean? But if I'm going to give you 5 because you clearly got an expertise in the stones and the crystals, these are my 5, right? So I picked up on that, you know, from you. So I was asking, like, given another chance to answer that question, let's break it down to 3. And then, like, what would be your 3 recommended stones and crystals for, I think the dude's, his question was like protection, but I'll throw in 2 more. So for protection, for like clarity, and maybe like eliminating like depression, or, you know what I'm saying, like mental health challenges. Like, what would be your top 3 for that? And then let's just go with that first, and then I'll bring back the other part of it. You know what I'm saying? So
Hands down for clarity, nothing's going to beat clear quartz whatsoever. Hands down for clarity, nothing's going to beat clear quartz. Just the properties of clear quartz, like I say, the military uses clear quartz. So for clarity, any kind of ritual, you talking about Batala energy, you talking about Dambala energy, you want, like I say, you always want that clear quartz. That's why they always talk about the clear quartz, the crystal skulls and everything, because the clear quartz is for the perfect clarity into universe, program of energy and everything else. So you're not getting nothing more clear than the clear quartz. The second one you said was the mental health stone.
Yes, sir. Like, what could help with that? Like, what stone would be a good one to help with that?
The depression stone. So most of the time when you think about mental health, you would think, depression, maybe depression. So of course, amethyst is an amazing stone for depression. Amethyst is an amazing stone for depression. Like I said, it also depends, but Apache tear is an amazing stone for depression. Now, once you're done with that Apache tear, you have to bury that Apache tear, whereas you don't have to bury the amethyst. You see what I'm saying? You run the Apache tear from your third eye over your head and down your back, or have somebody run it down your back for whatever. You sit and release, cry, do whatever you need to do. And then when you're done with that stone, you bury it where you need to bury it and leave it where it's at. Whereas the amethyst, you can just sit and hold it, but it's still gonna be, you're gonna feel it. It's gonna help you release. So for depression, amethyst, Apache tear, amethyst and Apache tear. Those, and then like I say, there's a bunch of there's millions of stones. There's millions of, like I always go. You can go any kind of pink stone is good for. It depends on what kind of healing you need. But just depression, amethyst, amethyst, Apache tear would be the best combination. But like if you're trying to get rid of, you're not wearing Apache tear. You're using Apache tear and getting rid of Apache tear when it's done being used.
Not sure. Yeah. Nah, shout out to shout out to the tribe. I'm not sure who Earn a Bud is. I think they might be new. But Earn a Bud said this ain't live. Now this live, Earn a Bud. I'm not sure how that's got miscommunicated. But it could be because the comments are being addressed like later on. Like, but I said that I don't know how long Earn a Bud been here, but I said that earlier. Like, tribe, I appreciate y'all tribing. Please keep tribing. But it's a challenge for me to keep up with all the comments because there's a lot of them. So we definitely live, Earn a Bud. It's just a matter that
Just a figment we're not live. This is just a figment of your imagination.
Yeah.
Manifest.
Allegedly, but yeah, but okay. So now my other question, the other part to that question was how, because I see like some questions that are kind of similar to this one. I see some people saying like, okay, there's a lot of different references, a lot of different questions, a lot of different comments. But my initial question was, as a person who, okay, I'm a Gemini, I know my date of birth, I know da 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 da. Da, how would I figure out, or could you guide me on how to figure out what are the top 3 stones that will work for me
For
based off of
Gemini.
but for like anybody who's any other sign, like what would be a way for them to find out what 3 stones work with them or that they should work with and what stones they should stay away from? Because I remember you saying like every stone ain't for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was one of the ones that we wasn't able to get into. So because, you know what I'm saying, we got a little bit of time tonight, I wanted to get into that just to kind of share that perspective for those who don't know, including myself. How do we go about that?
Man, that's why I say I don't want to say. That's why I didn't think it don't sound it ain't live, because we saying the same thing we said last time. And I hate to sound cliche. Number 1, knowledge yourself. Number 2, go get that reading. Go get that reading, because no matter what anybody says, no matter what you say, you can't lie to the cards, you can't lie to the shells. Go get a reading from somebody that can help you in the spiritual community. You see what I'm saying? Like in New Orleans, they got readers everywhere. Go get your palm read. People can read your nose. People can read your eyes. People can read all sorts of stuff about you. So go get a reading. Find out what you need work on. What chakra do you need work on? After you do that, as far as each zodiac sign, when you get your reading, you also want to get your natal chart, because your natal chart, you're not just a Gemini. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
You're not just a Gemini. What's your whole chart?
That's out my realm, bro.
Okay,
But
so
I mean, I've received them before, and I got the notes, and I got, you know what I'm saying, I got all that, but that's not.
I say that to say, when you ask how would I identify certain things, we would identify your whole chart. So I'll use my chart. My chart is I'm an Aries. My sun is Aries. My moon is a Sagittarius, and my rising is a Gemini. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot going on there. First off, we know that.
Right.
Yours we can just address because you're a Gemini, because you already, so that already represents four sides of yourself. You already got this. Everybody got their dual nature, but as a Gemini, you have 4, right? So off rip, let's say what does Gemini represent? And Gemini, if you even go to the ancient sign, it's always been the twins, the BG twins, right? You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh yeah. So we're doing communication. So what stone represents communication? What stone represents air? So we'll go with that. If we want to go gold stone, we're going to go rutilated quartz, because that represents angel hair. If you want to be connected to the angels, you have angel hair wrapped around you, and that's very powerful. Turquoise is one of those stones, like I said before, connects to the spirit, the ancestors, and the spirits. So turquoise, when they say they came from above, they're saying they're coming from the air. They know where they came from the air. So you're using stones that connect to your natural force without tipping over your natural force. Now, as a Gemini, you are air, which also means you are crown, right? Crown, I would go amethyst. They disrespect amethyst because amethyst is abundant, but amethyst back in the day was pricey because how powerful. We're looking at a lot of stuff through the oppressor's eyes. The oppressor tell you this ain't valuable. You think it's not valuable, but the oppressor don't have they literally don't have a third eye to use the crystal on. So
yeah,
peace. So for the Gemini, angel light, any kind of blue stone is good for you. Lapis lazuli is amazing for you. You're communicating, and your communication is not a coincidence that you're a Gemini and you're into this Abatala energy. What is Abatala? Do you think that 20 years ago, did you know that you were going to be a Gemini or whatever? And did you know that you were going to be an Abatala priest? Now put it together, make it make sense. Abatala is what? He is the air deity. You saying the Gemini twins is your lungs. That also represents that air deity. The lungs represent the air. Yeah. So you were looking to all that. So of course we go clear quartz. Clear intentions, straight point, energetic. You are just like the air is just as important as the water, clearly, but the water gets evaporated and does what? Goes into the air. So there's information in the air the same way as information in the water, clearly, because it's one and the same. So Pure quartz is programmable. Clear quartz, blue stones, clearly your you know what I'm saying, you need something to keep you grounded. You need something to keep you grounded. And that goes into that when we're talking about your heart chakra or the green and black energy. I would say, because like I say, that's your birthstone anyway, and it's your birthstone not because it's your birthstone, it's because that's what the stone is most powerful in that spring energy. So emerald is one of your birthstones. You see what I'm saying? So you would, by knowing that much of you. Now, if I knew your other parts of your chart, now we're talking about the chemistry of different stones that we can blend together. But if I was just basic, that's what we just did. We kept it real basic because the course is going to magnify what you already are. You're going to, every time you're studying, you're programming what you're trying to become. The emerald is making sure that you're healthy and on the right path of whatever you got going on. The turquoise is guiding you on your path and your ancestors are walking you on your spiritual path. So each one of those stones represent that. You see what I'm saying? Whereas, like I said, I'm an Aries, fire, Sagittarius, fire, Gemini, air. So mine, what do I need to magnify fire? No, why would I want to burn my house down? No, maybe I need something to calm me down, to reverse it. So let's go blue stones. Let's go stones that are going to keep us calm. And that's why it's a reversal kind of, you know what I'm saying? Whereas Virgos or Virgo energy can have any stone. You know what I'm saying? Because they're earth sign and they're mother earth, so they can have any stone. But their main stone is carnelian, because the carnelian represents that set blood, the blood of the mother earth, and peridot, the heart of the mother earth.
Yes,
but they like to tell you that sapphire would be Virgo's main stone, but it's really Virgo is the mother of the earth and the biggest constellation in the universe, right? Outside of Sagittarius. So Virgo is the Holy Mother. They can break it down in the story to make you acknowledge it through Mother Mary and everything else, whether that be real or not. But they're talking about the Virgo constellation being that Virgin constellation, being the mother constellation. Peridot, the purest heart, is the heart chakra of Peridot, whereas carnelian is the blood. We talk about the blood of Jesus. It was never the blood of Jesus. It was the blood of a set. So,
woo, yeah. Yeah, they're going crazy in the comments. I'm trying to keep up. I got y'all. Try. I'm doing my best. We're gonna make it do what it do.
So
But
yeah,
that's
we don't talk about that. My bad. We talk about that enough. But carnelian, I haven't said. I don't think I've spoken on carnelian before until just now. But carnelian, the blood of a set. That's like when they would say I'm covered in the blood of Jesus. It was never about that. It was being covered in the blood of a set, and the blood of a set was carnelian stone. That's a very powerful protection stone.
Yeah, I got one. Matter of fact, I keep one in my medicine bag, and if I'm not mistaken, I think one over there.
Carnelian?
Yeah,
you can, because you also use that. You can use it. So of course I kind of got away from it.
It's like a reddish, like a, you know what I'm saying, like a reddish oranges, almost like coral looking color, like right, Crystal, right?
It can be dark red. They even speak on it in the Bible on being Aaron's chest plate. So it is an important stone. It can be dark red. It's super hard. It's like a red, damn near like a. Oh man, I know I got one around here.
Yeah, and I got some too. I didn't want to jump off the camera to go get it, but I definitely got some. Because I keep that in my medicine bag.
You don't think about it enough, and that's one of the things that you're not. I've noticed that I've not seen it as much as I used to see it. We used to see it a whole lot more, but the more people that start waking up, the less you're going to see a lot of stones.
Right.
There's a lot of stones that are important to us that at first they were selling them at these little crystal shops. Now they really, these people, they know what they're doing. Now, you don't see lodestone in crystal stores no more. You see what I'm saying? But you don't see a whole lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
listen, that go back to the conversation we was having off air the other day about social media. So you gotta remember, you know what I'm saying? Like there's levels to this thing, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's certain things that is just not gonna be easily you know what I mean? Like you're not gonna get a pass, go pass. You know what I mean? Like in Monopoly, you ain't gonna just get a pass, go pass just for certain things because you know certain entities and energies at play trying to keep certain things in place.
But also that also plays into, like I said, everything that you just said. They're supposed to do that. That's the program in the Matrix, right? Just like when you saw in the Matrix, Reloaded, whatever. When you saw those two twins that could be like ghosts. They were programs. So there's always programs in the Matrix. This book right here, like I'm giving you the game. This book right here is telling you how to skip past a lot of these certain things in the Matrix. There's certain books that be like, okay, what you're battling right there is a certain kind of spirit or a certain kind of jinn or a certain kind of demon. This stone lapis lazuli runs these demons off, or this stone right here, Tiger Eye, controls the demon, or this stone right here repels the demon, or this stone right here traps the demon. So you got to know exactly what you want to do. You see what I'm saying? That's why I keep on talking about the Tektites, because Tektite literally traps demons. Demons are scared of it because it's triple darkness. Say these are the break.
yeah, they going ham. They going ham in the comments, but you know what's funny though? That's real, because like who was it? He said somebody else said take your ball and go. Here we go. Supreme Consciousness was saying take your ball and go home, pop some popcorn and watch the show. That's a real thing too.
That's what we said last time.
Everybody ain't able to do it though. It goes back to, remember what I said, like everybody can't sit in silence or sit in quiet or not be involved in the fuckery. Some people, like they don't understand, like they don't have to be involved with being on social media, with being on Facebook, with being on Instagram, with being on YouTube, with being, you know what I'm saying? Like some people don't realize the world, your own personal world is still gonna evolve and revolve without you being tapped into, you know what I'm saying, the system, like tapped into the program.
One thing about it, I noticed a lot of people been telling me lately, like a lot of people been telling me, I don't even watch TV no more. I'm so like I started like people been hitting me up and they were like, yo, I don't even watch TV. I haven't watched TV in months. I ain't watched TV in years. And it was like, it's so funny. I'm the same way. I only watch things because I'm not easily entertained. I can only watch things to help that dopamine for knowledge, you know what I'm saying, for information. Yeah. So the thing about it is, when they say about the hall, when we're talking about Thoth, and he's talking about going to those halls of Amenti or whatever, right? He's talking about going to that triple darkness. You have to go to that triple darkness. You got to go sit within yourself to figure out who you are, type thing. You know what I'm saying? Sports is slavery. Slaves performing on a racist territory, savagely F sports. No, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. That is not really our thing at all. That started from making slaves fight each other. Like we still do that every day. And one thing my teacher was like, he was like, yo, we really be paying to see black men get in these rings and fight each other. Think about it. They pay black men money to get in there and knock their brains loose. Football, you knocking your brain loose after they auctioned you off. After they look at Deion Sanders' son, they auctioned him off. They said, no, that nigga there, he too cocky. He one of them one got confidence, butt break him. I think that's what they call it. They tried to butt break him, but they forgot. Oh, y'all didn't kill his daddy. That's what happens when you got a daddy. That's what happens when you got a daddy that's already been through the fuckery and know how to brand you. That he don't gotta touch that. He don't gotta play at all. He already got his endorsements from all KFC and all these other places. So that's the free gems when you sealing in legacy and not being like these. If we're gonna shout out the coons like Shannon Sharp, we got to shout out the real ones like Deion Sanders that did amazing by his boys that set them up for success. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
As above, so below, as within, so without.
As above, so without.
Yeah, I mean, because it's the laws of polarity. And honestly, I don't really know a whole lot about Shannon, so I can't really comment on him. But I do rock with Prime. I do rock with, you know, I've been fucking with Prime because first of all, he went to Florida State, so that within itself, I'm biased.
Perfect. When they used to back in the day when they used to hang our people, they said leave him there so we can make an example out of him. Yeah, they made an example out of him.
Same thing as butt breaking.
We use him to tell the story. He's the example. How many times y'all gonna make the same mistake of getting some money and losing it to these snow bunnies? How many of y'all gonna make the same mistake of getting rich and then trying to find love? Find that love way before you find that love in the beginning, because if you don't find that love in the beginning, it's gonna be real hard to find love later on, man. Like literally, y'all playing with different cultures, y'all playing with these different people, like they don't see you like a lick. This girl got on her she said free gems. I don't have to be a fans only girl no more. I retired with my 50 million. This man been playing 20 some odd years. He been playing how many years in his life? He been talking how many years in his life? This is why I use him. This is why we say, yeah, go ahead and whoop him some more. Because you know why? He literally said that his daughter couldn't get no money from him, but you made this white girl. You gave the money back. He's gonna be the face of the coonery because he's not the first one. What's the other little boy name? The one that married the little girl, the little Spanish girl.
Yeah, I can't remember. Travis Hunter.
You give it right back to him.
He played with. Didn't he play for Prime at Colorado?
Nothing about nothing besides. Listen, I know the same way these people know a lick when they see one coming. I know he's sweet. That's all I know. If you don't know nothing else, he's sweet, and I hope he have a great football career because he's gonna need it to keep friends. Like we got to realize we're not teaching people how to be men. We're not teaching our men their culture, and they're gonna stay losing in the culture of losers because we think that these dudes are smart because they went to college. We think that these dudes are smart, but they're the first ones that get some money and the first thing they do when they get the money because these white folks ain't getting drafted first and doing all this 50 million, 20 million. You getting drafted and they're making sure you got drafted to pay them. They didn't already gave you your agent girlfriend. That girl's been they've been prepping you for since the fraternity, the sororities, all that. They've been prepping her for a while for you.
Yeah, they call it.
The things that they act like they teaching and everything else, use him for the example of that coonery and what needs to be stopped in our community.
Yeah, they call it grooming,
man. We don't need to stop it. We need to identify so we know not to let in our community. Because when we talk about wealth, that man could have built what? That man could have did what? You had $50 million sitting around doing what? You didn't even want to do nothing for your daughter. You're cursed, bro. You can't tell me you're not cursed. You got clown people out here, these rappers that these people looking up to, finesse 2 times or 3 times or 4, whatever his name is. His mama getting evicted, talking about some paying rent. Come on now. What are y'all doing with his money?
Listen, I don't even know. I can't say that I know like anything about any of that. Like what you talking about with that? Because but that goes back to me like not being like on like social media and like in the know of whatever the fuckery that be going on. And that's intentional too. I do that intentionally because I don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be inundated with BS. But shout out to Nubian King because Nubian King said that fake leap year garbage is fake. How can a year leap? If that's the case, we should be at 2026. It's funny to me, like
the calendar all fucked up, bro. You would have to do some real research that even why they do the leap year because the year is really it's so much
a whole bunch of fuckery, man.
Some people say the year's supposed to be 13 months, and other people say, if you want to be honest with it, if we're talking about the matriarch, it's supposed to be 9 months. Think about it.
Right.
And then you think about, like I say, those constructs, but like I say, it's so much history that goes into the calendar itself. But yeah, you're most definitely right.
Well, that's why I'm laughing because to me, like that's why I said what I said the way I said it because I was saying whatever we were talking about, I was saying this is what it is for me all day, every day, 24/7, 365, 366 on a leap year. I just wanted to make sure that I included that because I want to include all the fuckery to make sure that I'm covering all, you know what I'm saying, all bases are being covered of what we're talking about. And yeah, I don't agree with it, and it's all hell. We could put that with along the lines with the what is it called? Daylight savings time when they changed the clock and the hour and all that. Like all that, it's all a facade. Like that's all they want to control the narrative. Like that's what it's like trying to be Geppetto, you know what I'm saying, and controlling Pinocchio. Like it's all about control.
That's it at the end of the day. And then, like they say, they keep on coming with more holidays and making sure that's the way they can write themselves into history and take care of themselves because you'll always spend money on Christmas. You always want to spend money back. They didn't secure the bag.
Yeah.
They secured the bag. You know what I'm saying? They didn't get you believing in all this little crazy stuff. But once you do research on it, you know what I'm saying? You'll understand how deep that shit goes. Aset, Asar, Harud, the real Trinity. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're Aries, you're really a set. Each one of those different ones, and that's just going on that aspect because I studied the Chinese zodiac, the year there's people that when you understand what year you are, and it's just putting all that together and using the science of it. Again, I say I'm not a moron whatsoever. I don't listen to a lot of that foolery they be talking about. But when you find a real Moor is talking about nothing but the stars, bro. The real Moor is going to talk about where those constellations came from. Because like I said, if you listen to a Greek person looking at the sky saying, yeah, I saw a piggy, anybody can look at the stars and say they seen anything. Like when you pull up a car, back in the day, they used to pull the cars, they say, what do you see? What do you see in this car? It's up to you to see whatever you want to see. That's not what makes you follow these constellations. The real constellations are the ones that were those constellations have been around way longer than the calendar. Some of these signs that they like the Aries, the Gemini have been around way longer than the calendar have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You there, Chi?
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I'm listening. That's facts. But yeah. Say again.
No. I was which was gone.
Nah. I was gonna say yeah. I'm you ready to wrap it up? I'm trying to see if there's any more questions or any more.
Appreciate it, guy. Like I said, I'm still working on Black August too. We still working on a bunch of some new content for y'all. Tune in with us. Thursday we working on emotional intelligence from Atlanta, from Timbuktu, with the goddess Rebel Divine. Friday we trying to kick off something different. Friday, if you want to just pop in, inbox me Thursday night. Inbox me Friday, early Friday, so I can get you on. If I don't get you on this time, I'll get you on next time. But most definitely try to if you're into poetry, I want to bring poetry back. Like we bring a matriarch back. The only way we're gonna get the matriarch back, we gotta start telling poems again. Like, look, guys, let me tell you, what I'm saying, something. We gotta bring poetry back too. We gotta bring all those different things when things were good. You know what I'm saying? They took that from us. So on Friday, I'm gonna give a free piece away to whoever got the best poem, because I already know this talking thing is hard, bro. And talking in general is hard. So getting up there and sharing your heart is hard. So any way we can support y'all, the same way y'all support us, we'll give a free piece away. We're gonna do it probably around Friday around 7 and start around 7. So the time going faster and faster. Once you felt real, you can't tolerate that. That's real. That's real though. And it was on here, most definitely on that.
Yes, sir.
It's Thursday and Friday. What you got going? We still doing something on the Patreon soon too, huh?
Yeah, I'm thinking. You know, I don't even want to put the date that I was anticipating, because, like I said, today was supposed to be one of them. But then, like I said, I got sent on a mission that it wasn't on the schedule. It wasn't on the task list for today for sure. But life be lifing. But like I said, that's why we had this show anyways, because life be lifing, and we got an Audible, call Audibles on the play, and still make it do what it do, be what it be. But I'm thinking Thursday though. Definitely, I anticipate doing one on Thursday, and then shoot, we'll figure it out. Hell, I might be able to. We'll talk about. I'll get with you off air, because like I said, I don't want to say what I will do, and then things come up. But definitely Thursday, I see.
We're gonna start surprising y'all soon, and we're gonna have a lot of amazing things for y'all.
And then we got the watch party Saturday, and then I'm still kind of building out the week, but we're gonna make it do what it do and be what it be. But did you want to share anything with the tribe in regards to what you got going on, in regards to like any of the pieces or any of the up and coming events that you got going on virtually, or excuse me, on the channel? Or wait, we got a couple more questions real quick. Excuse me, before we get out of here. Kenyatta said, any info on Libras that we can share?
Libra's all right. So Libra's just another version of air. Libra stone is opal. All right. So we were talking about air for Gemini, but it's also cosmic. Libra is cosmic. If you look at it, when they talk about the opal, you're looking into the universe. You're looking into the cosmic vast universe. Like, so Libra, on the higher vibrational Libra, you would want the opal, but you also need grounding and balance. I know they say that you're balanced, but sometimes you can be off balance too. So you need a stone that's really going to balance you out. Labradorite is a good stone for you. Any one of those stones that has that shimmer to it is good for you, because you can see most definitely your shadow self. EPMD. So what you're saying? Yeah, but yeah, as far as the Libra, opal is most definitely your stone, and that was also one of those. I think that was also, the scales have always been there. That was a sign before the Zodiac as well. There's a couple of signs that was there before the Zodiac sign, before the Zodiac was put together. So yeah, opal is one of your stones for sure, and that's the best stone I can tell you. That, like, that's the stone you should be proud of, but it's also really, really hard to take care of. So if you're getting a opal, you don't want to like just have your opal anywhere. You want to take care of it, because they will swell up. They're like, I want to say 60% water, ancient water or whatever. That's what you're seeing all the colors. The more colors you see on the opal, the more expensive it get. If I was you, if you want to get an opal, man, go to a gem show. Go to your nearest gem show and get your opal, because they always got the best prices on them, because they can get pricey. Ethiopian opals are my favorite, but Australian opals are amazing too. But that's the best place you're gonna get those opals. Ethiopian opals or Australian opals. Black opals are number one. So yeah, get you a black opal. That's an amazing stone. Look, if you're a Libra, look in the movie Uncut Gems. I keep saying that. Look up Uncut Gems, and they'll break down that whole thing about opal. So
I share. Oh, shout out to Durante. The loop is that clock time spiral. Look at our here. Yeah, that's real. 9 ether versus 6 ether. Facts.
yo, let me give you one for the trap, so they don't fall in. Don't fall for the trap. Right now, they're trying to push, AI. They're trying to push stones that they have a lot of stones of, right? So right now, they're trying to push this stone called spinel. Do not buy spinel. Spinel is a cursed stone. Look up spinel and look up how many people, how many curses or how much bad luck they're doing. They're trying to trick people with this stone called spinel. They're using spinel because spinel is all sorts of different colors. Spinel is the moissanite of the gem world. It's a real stone and it comes out in any different color, but it's the opposite of pretty much anything you thought you bought. So if you thought you bought something for this, it's not for that. It just looks like it's for that. So make sure you're not buying spinel. If somebody says something about spinel and tell you a good price and how it's so rare and everything else, that's not it, man. That spinel is not it. That is one curse stone you don't want to curse yourself with, and that's how people get you. You can curse people with some stones too by giving them as so-called gifts. You know what I'm saying? Or getting rid of them in certain ways. Because instead of them going and burying these stones, they pass them off. So that's a little slick shit they got going on.
Yeah. And shout out to Chloe Dior. I started this one because I saw you had asked it earlier, Chloe. But she wanted to know what a roots reading is, and so a roots reading is. You want to get this one, or you want me to get it? You go ahead and get it. You want to get it?
Oh, I think both. You go ahead.
Well, you get it because you actually had one. So I you know what I'm saying? Like I know of it, but you received one. So
oh shit. Okay, so damn. For me, my roots reading was, like I said, I was going through my spiritual journey, and I always get different readings from different people. I've gotten a reading from Voodoo Diva, a big voodoo priestess in New Orleans. I got readings from Yeah herself. I've had readings from a lot of great readers. So a roots reading is when you're getting a reading from an Ifa priest that specialized. Like I said, this is they have master situations where each one of them do their own thing. The roots reading tells you everything about your ancestral line. So that means that when you get your roots reading, they're going to tell you which one of your ancestors cursed your bloodline, how can you cleanse your bloodline, how can you help your bloodline, what do you need to do? So it's directing traffic. Now that reading, the reason it's important and you'll know it's real, it's going to tell you things that only you know. He don't even know this thing. He, she, they, whoever's doing it, they don't know anything about you. They're just doing what their science is, with their shells or whatever they're reading you with, and they can tell you who your head is, who your Orisha is. They can tell you your spirit tree. Look into that. What tree is yours? Like once you understand what plant you need around you, that's important. They tell you like what like it's different because I can tell you mine, but that might not have shit to do with what you got going on. But it tells you everything that's going to help you on your path. And then you take all these different readings that you've gotten and you can put them together and see if it makes sense. If it makes sense, that just helps you on your journey. So now you're on the right path. But the roots reading, it can connect you with your ancestors. You can talk to, if you have an ancestor or something you need to talk to, they can open up that door for you to communicate to your ancestors, get any other further message. They tell you your taboos, like he said, your taboos. You might have taboos in your bloodline where they're saying, don't eat peanut butter. Peanut butter was cursed because you're a great whatever. They did this to him with peanut butter, so he don't like peanut butter in the bloodline. So they might tell you stop eating peanut butter, and you can not listen or you can listen. But if you listen, it might turn out well for you. You see what I'm saying? Or they say to sacrifice something, and it might be something extremely rare that they don't know what you like or don't like. So they be like, I can't eat pork. I was like, yes. I can't eat red meat. I was like, all right, I can deal with that. Then they were like, I can't eat dates, and that was my sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know that I eat dates, like, but I can't drink. If I don't drink, that helps me more spiritually. So when you get your roots reading, it's telling you what can activate you, what can help you become stronger in your powers. What are your powers? And that's just bare minimum basics on it. It goes deeper than that. But when I got mine, you got to realize it depends on your emotional state when you're getting it. You need a pen and paper and write this down. You need to record it because they're gonna go so deep into your soul and figuring out different things you need worked on. You gotta hear and you gotta obey. That's it.
I say. Oh.
So,
Yeah, not that that and I wanted you to go first because you actually received one. I haven't received a quote unquote technical, I guess, roots consultation or divination, but from my understanding or understanding, understanding, like perspective is like it's everything that Orisha Stone just said, but also from what I gather, it's like it's a direct connection or communication with your personal ancestral lineage, right? So you're receiving communication from your independent, you know what I'm saying, direct correlation to your lineage. So just like the fingerprints or the DNA, you know what I'm saying? If we do a DNA test, we're going to get the previous progenitors or lineages from times immemorial, from ancient times or whatever. Like that's what the ancestral reading is, or consultation is. It's like you getting a direct communication from your direct family, ancestral masquerades, you know what I'm saying, all those who came before you in your bloodline. But also, I think with that one, it's really deep, because when it comes to that, it's specific to you, just like our fingerprints. You know what I'm saying? Like yours was specific to you. You had yours. I didn't have one, but I had mine. I had a similar one based upon some of the ceremonies that I went through, right? Because you don't get into some of the different types of I would say levels of spirituality without your ancestors giving you like a stamp of approval, or without them co-signing you. Like, let's just say you don't get into the priesthood unless your ancestors condoned it and they giving you your stamp of approval for you to get there.
Something that you just would know about anyway. You're called. You see what I'm saying? So many are called, few are chosen, but it starts off with the call first. Like somebody called, then you picked up. You didn't just know about these things by accident. If you know about an entity, then there's an opportunity for you to become the avatar of that entity. Now, when I say opportunity, it is an honor to be the avatar of these entities. You know what I'm saying? If you know what entity to be the avatar of. Now that goes a long way, but understand that, like some of these, that's why when these women, they are the avatar for Oshun. They are the avatars for Oya. Some of these young men, the avatars of Shango energy. You're the avatar of Abatala. You see what I'm saying? So once you tap into the avatar, you got to live up to the avatar, or you can curse yourself. That's the name of the game for that spiritual shit. If you don't live up to your avatar, if like what they say, when you got a leakies on and you're in Abatala, you can't even go on no bar. You can't do same thing. When you got your initiated for a Abatala priest, then they tell you can't drink.
It depends, because everybody's journey is different. So it goes back to taboo. Now, from my understanding is Obatala as a deity. Yeah, you're not supposed to drink. You definitely don't, especially in the diaspora. We don't give him alcohol or OT, as what we call it, as an offering. None of that. But I've experienced where in Africa and Nigeria, they give him OT, but that's a totally different paradigm, right? But as far as us, yeah, there are different taboos and different things that we're not supposed to do, according to your lineage and according to your connection to that particular deity. But when it comes to the ancestors, I wanted to get with that because, like I was saying before, you don't get to any, I feel like, elevated spiritual pinnacle without getting the backing, the confirmation, and the cosigner of your ancestors from your ancestral lineage. It just doesn't happen. You don't have to be a priest or a priestess to be a powerful spiritualist. You don't have to be a priest or a priestess to be a powerful, spiritual being. Like, you can do a lot of that stuff without any initiation, any of that stuff. It's all in how you are aligned to your calling and to how you do the work that you were sent here to do, the people you were born to serve. And then we got more questions, bro. I don't know how much longer you got. Huh?
No, you can run it. I love it, bro. See, we were expecting to have a different kind of day, but I still love the energy. So if it's looking good,
yeah, because we still got questions, but I do want to answer them. But to go back to fully answer, or just to give both perspectives on Chloe Dior's initial question was, what is a roots reading? So from what bro just shared with his experience, because he personally had one, I haven't had one like he had, but it's really you receiving a divine consultation from your genetic, spiritual, physical, biological, ancestral progenitors, the ancestors who came before you. It's like picking up the phone and having a conversation with your ancestors who came from millions of years before you. And you talking to all of them, and everybody on like a Zoom call, and y'all chopping it up. I ain't gonna say all of them, but a good, a good portion.
That's the first call. Yep.
Or better yet, we saw in Black Panther, like T'Challa, when he took the herb and he laid in that bed and he did like this, and he woke up and he was talking to his pops, and pops was chilling that white, and then he was in like this, we call it Orun, and and Ifa Isheshe, but he was in the ancestral realm. That is what I would equate to the same thing as a ancestral, what we call roots reading or roots consultation. It's a divine conversation with those who came and showed up to speak on your behalf for your journey here in this present realm, but they're speaking to you from the realm of the ancestors, just like T'Challa was doing. I brought my staff because we talked about, it was supposed to be the divine what was it? Mothers or Temples or something like that. And so I rock my Way Out t-shirt. I got my Ancestral stick here with me. Matter of fact, the same one I had in Jacksonville when we opened up for the event with Professor Smalls. Like this spoke, I think we was talking about that Sunday, about things speaking to you. Bro, when I walked in this, when I got this, it was a full-blown conversation. Straight up. It has been one ever. Huh?
Give him some eyes. Remember we said we're gonna put Pneumite on a staff? Give him some Pneumite eyes and put them in and get on the drill the eyes out a little bit, put the Pneumite in the eyes.
You the plug, bro. Look,
I'm telling you, like I'm giving you the game. Like if you put Pneumite in the eyes, that's gonna be real powerful. Get your little bone put on there. Like it's different bones for different things. Some Pneumite on there and even like it's just a bunch of things you can tie on there, some devil shoestring and everything else. That makes it more powerful. You see what I'm saying? If you ain't got just the whole wood thing, then start adding other things to it. But the first thing I would do is when you got something like that, you tell you want to speak, give it some eyes. Let y'all walk that path together. So he like you say he's alive, you know what I'm saying? They carved him, why they leave the eyes out? Give him some eyes, and he's gonna start looking around for things for you. He's gonna start looking out for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, but see, that's the thing. But it goes back to now like that. I feel like this is just this is more like that's the same thing as a crystal. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a symbol, but don't get it twisted. Like it's real, like it's animate, like it has a life, it has a spirit, it has, you know what I'm saying? It has qualities that it communicates and all that. So like you the plug for that.
That one right there, I would say that one right there is the vessel. You see what I'm saying? Like a vessel means you know what I'm saying? Like dolls, right? Sometimes when a spirit wants to take over something and it can't take the body, it'll take a vessel, i.e., spiritual tools or whatever. Sometimes these spirits love crystals, but if you're in the graveyard work, if you're into that graveyard stuff, black stones protect you from that. Because if you're not if you go to do graveyard magic, you're not protect your energy, you're bringing shit home.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So you got to just know all that, how to do all that. But once you have the automatic protection on there, sometimes you'll forget you even got the protection on you, and you be bulletproof the whole time. So, what you're doing when you put the eyes in it, you're giving it an opportunity to be what you would call mounted or used for whatever spirit wanted to use it. You can use it when you hitting the ground. The same way the Vajra, I can call a spirit. The spirits are going to play with that Vajra the way they play with a Ouija board. A Ouija board, people go playing with Ouija boards and don't know what the fuck they calling. They don't know who the fuck they calling. They don't know what the fuck they calling. You see what I'm saying? Whereas a Vajra, if I call a spirit, the Vajra, they're not going to play with the Vajra. It's the indestructible diamond. That means the light of it is going to destroy you if you come playing. That's the spirit. No spirit is going to come and risk getting jammed up, trapped, or anything playing with you if you're not the one, you're not the one they call. So likewise, you know what I'm saying? So you can use that, hit the ground, but have the stones in there. We just said Pneumite should be the stone in there. Use that for astral travel and also protect yourself in the spirit realm. So imagine you being in the spirit realm, like what's that guy name? What was it? Constantine, right? And he said he put his feet in the water, portal, right? He put his arms up there and electrocuted himself. He had a little electrical thing and electrocuted him with the staff, right? And he sent him to the underworld, and he had I think it was some kind of holy water, whatever. But if you're in that realm, which they left out, and it's funny they left it out on purpose because they got this in the scroll. They knew all the other stuff. They knew the faces and they knew how to do all this other stuff, how to do it, because that's not they were talking about a real ritual. When you listen to crazy ass movies like Hellboy and everything else, it's demonic as shit. They're telling you real rituals from the Book of Solomon, there's lesser keys of Solomon. They're telling you real life codes on there, and you're watching these movies at nighttime with a mirror in your room, not realizing they done released all sorts of shit in your house.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So no, man, once you start peeping how to utilize some stuff and know what you're doing, put some Pneumite on there. It protects you in all realms, especially those darker realms. When you're reading people, you're stepping in their business. Everybody's soul ain't clean.
Oh yeah.
You might read somebody that got a bunch of stuff on them, and you're in a real situation. How do I help this person, or do I help this person? But first off, let me
No, I was gonna say, but that's where that's where I feel like, and I know there's people on the call that's gonna watch the call or the replay or whatever, like after the fact, but that's where people who play with the the so-called self-initiating or self-initiation and all this other foolishness, that's where that can become tragic and fatal. Because if you haven't been brought through this journey, like, no, seriously, like for real, you know what I'm saying? But if you haven't been brought through this journey by people who have authenticity, who legitimately have the ashe to then instill ashe into, you know what I'm saying, the crowd of whoever they're bringing forth within that, so whatever that situation, that initiation is, then yeah, you playing with your life, because you could die. Like for real. But that's why those who have been called to that particular space or that particular realm receive a certain level of ashe from the deities, because that particular ashe that you receive during that ceremony and throughout that initiation, that's what that protection is for. It's like if you go to war and you got without a bulletproof vest on or without any type of protection, how vulnerable are you to get, you know what I'm saying, laid down by rounds that's just out there, just round, you know what I'm saying? But at least if you got the vest on, you know what I'm saying, you're in an armored vehicle, whatever, you got more protection. That's where the ceremony is. Huh?
I forgot it's Tuesday. It was Tuesday, so I forgot to shout out Ogun. But when you were talking about protection, that's why you do that's why you do what you're supposed to do. That's why it is simple things. It's real simple things that we call rituals that you can just do to show love, and people don't understand by showing love. These entities, if you show love to these entities, the entities show love back. You know what I'm saying? So that means if you show love to Ogun, and they be like, Ogun is this, and that. Ogun is the entity that's willing to serve if you call on him. What does he want? Go give him some rum. Go give him a steak. I'm telling you, if you give him a steak, he will act his ass for you. Give Ogun a steak, he will act up for you. Go put some steak. Go put a steak on a railroad track. Go put an emerald up under the railroad track, not on the railroad track, but put it up on the railroad track somewhere where only you know where it's at. Give him some bottle of rum. He love him some Uncle Nearest. Get him a bottle of rum. Get him a cigar. Simple shit. The same thing a soldier would want, that's what Ogun wants. That's period. You know what I'm saying? Whatever a soldier wants, that's what Ogun wants. You can go out there and dance for Ogun, get on your Oshun thing, and go out there and dance for the railroad tracks and see what happens for you in your life. Like for real, like spit some rum on the railroad tracks every Tuesday and see what happens.
I say, ooh. But yeah. With that, man, I think we can go ahead and get ready to shut this thing down. But I think it was one or two other questions, but we might have to get to them. I guess on the next one, I can't find where they at, but there was a couple of other questions that I wanted to bring. Oh, okay, I got one more. It's the last one right here. But Durante said, "What about alcohol on your altar?" Yeah.
I mean, what do you mean? What about it? It depends who you got to altar for. It just, I don't understand the question, but like I said, it depends on what you have an altar for. If you got an altar for, like you just said, a batala, I wouldn't put alcohol on my altar. If you got an altar for Dembala, he probably wouldn't like it, but Dembala likes milk. You know what I'm saying? So, but if you're talking about your ancestors, if you're talking about a Legba, they love alcohol. If you're talking about Shango, he love alcohol. If you're talking about Oshun, she love her some wine. If you're talking about Oya, she loves some wine. So as far as the alcohol altar, it depends on what you got an altar for. If you're talking about your ancestors, it depends on if your ancestors like alcohol. Now, if your ancestor was an alcoholic, I probably wouldn't. I'd give them a small drink or whatever. You don't want them tearing shit up in your house. But no, no alcohol. I use it mostly. That spirits. That's how you wake up the spirits. You get their attention with alcohol. But like I said, if the spirit don't like alcohol, most definitely tune in with us Thursday, I think. Thursday, because Sister most definitely gonna be breaking down the 42 laws of Mayat. Rebel Divine's gonna be breaking down the 42 laws of Mayat.
I share. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's probably what they were talking about, because we were talking about the ancestors when that question came up. So I'm pretty sure they're talking about. But yeah, and it's all perspective. Like, yeah, if they partaked in the libations while they were here, and they was, they wasn't, like you said, alcoholic, or they wasn't somebody who was like wild and acting a fool, then yeah, you know what I'm saying, top them off, throw them a little something. But if they was like out there, if they was wilding, or the alcohol made them turn into the Tasmanian devil, you know what I'm saying, they was turning some shit up. No, for real though, because you don't want to do that, because that's a real thing. Like you activate that energy, you can't.
In the house. You start having arguments in your house. You start tearing stuff in your house. Shit start getting messed up in your house. You don't understand the energy of your house because you don't have your house rightfully protected. If you're gonna have an altar, make sure you have the things around your house that like what's that white chalk, Ephraim? Yeah, now I don't. Yeah, I don't even use it, right? Because once they see that you got it, you don't have to use it. Because my answer, I let them run. My spirit guys, I let them run freely, right? They run freely, but once you start getting on my nerves, I'm gonna pull that out. They know now make an understanding. If I gotta pull that out, I'll chuck your ass up too. I'll have your ass sitting here in the corner. You want to sit in the corner, you want to move around. The choice is yours. You know what I'm saying? Listen, work with me, I'm gonna work with you. We gotta do this together. So some of that right there, that's a powerful tool right there. So
yeah, no, that's a real thing. Like for real. And those, like I said, those who you know, have been through certain levels of the journey, you know, like even with the rituals, like in certain ways that we kind of have to kind of block off or, you know, cave off different aspects or elements or spaces, you know, specifically for you know, keeping things contained. Kind of like, you know what it reminded me of, bro? It reminded me of Ghostbusters. You remember in Ghostbusters where they had the little, I forgot the name of the little box, but you remember the box where when they would catch the ghost, they would put the ghost in the box and they had to close it. What was it called? I can't remember what it was called.
You know what you're talking about, Dave?
Yeah, like the the plasma or whatever it was called. The tribe know what it was, but y'all like those who were 80s babies or older, there was a box when they caught the ghost, they'll put the ghost in that box and they had to seal it up because that's how they contain them. But that's a real thing when it comes to the ancestors, because all ancestors, it's kind of like people, like everybody ain't good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. All ancestors ain't for the benefit of, you know what I'm saying, you further in your journey, because some unfortunately are dealing with their own whatever they you know, experiences was where, you know, they're not agreeables. You know what I mean? So you got to be very, very conscientious of how you're moving and also get the guidance of somebody who's certified and trained on how to deal with that type of energy.
Proper preparation prevents poor performance.
Facts.
About dealing with spirits, do your research, do your homework, go talk to an elder, make sure that shit makes sense. There's a lot of different things you can study before you just start digging and mess with certain things before you do any kind of spell, because you're playing with your soul at the end of the day if you don't know what you're doing. So yeah.
Big facts. All right, bro. So yeah, man, we can go ahead and I guess close this thing down, man. You got anything you want to leave with the tribe before we get out of here, bro?
And tap in with Orisha Stone, man. Wait a minute. Y'all ain't hit like yet? Man, hit that like button, man. Support this brother, man. Hit that like button, man. Tune in with us the next couple of days. If you ain't following us on the Orisha Stone Esoteric channel, come follow us over there. We always putting out some new information. We got a nice little team, nice little lineup, man. We're gonna try to keep on putting out different kind of information on spiritual technology that we can all build from. Like each one teach one. Friday we're gonna have the poetry. Like this Friday we're gonna have the poetry build. I don't like saying contest, but the poetry build. On Friday, the best poet is gonna get a free piece. I'm trying to like we all the pieces are dope because I'm trying to get people to come buy something. They ain't bought nothing yet. Like I'm trying to get you some very unique pieces. You ain't use once one and done. You ain't gonna see it no more. So intergalactic passports. These are tools, energy tools. Intergalactic passport. It has your frequency written all over it. So yeah, that's it, God.
Yes, sir. No, I like that. Intergalactic passport. Shout out to Jessica J. Yeah, that's another one we ain't hit, I don't think, but it could depend on how they transition. That's facts too, because those who have like a easy, peaceful, you know what I'm saying, transition is definitely, they're a lot more agreeable for the most part, because if you have one that, you know what I mean, like it was like a hectic or traumatic transition, yeah, you know what I'm saying, they could be still dealing with.
That case, you use the Apache tear. If they die traumatic, you're helping them by taking the Apache tear and using that to draw in that negative experience and bearing it for them on their behalf. And then you'll put some alcohol on that, but then you leave it. Wherever you bury that, leave it where it's at. But yeah, that's an old Indian thing about those people that they had to bury. So yeah, no, Apache tear, if they died, like that's why I say the death doulas should all look into Apache tear.
Yes, sir.
Oh man,
yeah.
Bro, hit us up on Instagram. If you hit us up on Instagram, you can hit my messenger up. It's the same thing on all platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. If you hit me up on YouTube, it might be a little harder because we got to do the whole email thing. But if you hit me up on IG, or you can also find our stuff at the brother guy. He sells some stuff at Orisha, the Ashe Network. They sell my stuff at Black Wall Street. They're selling our stuff at Timbuktu in Atlanta. They're selling us stuff at Electric Faith Botanica. With the black goddess out there. So we most definitely trying to get around. If you all you gotta do is hashtag Orisha Stone and I'll pop up. But yeah, hit me up on Instagram. If you hit me up on Instagram, most definitely we can directly link better there, or you can email me off of YouTube. So just hit me up and I'll see my email or whatever, and then we can build from there. So I appreciate that though, for real. We do appreciate the support. Do not think this is easy. We most definitely got to build something. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you, guys.
Yes, sir. That's facts. But nah, that's real, man. And I'll have the comments. I mean, I'll have the links in the description as well. It probably won't be tonight, but tomorrow it'll be in the description, and then I'll definitely work on getting them, in the actual upload for the episodes as well. Try, but yeah, man, it was another phenomenal build, bro. And like I said, sometimes we gotta just go ahead and do what it do, and be what it be, and let the spirit, you know what I mean, guide us, and like for real to come to fruition. Because look at where it was 2 hours and 15 minutes ago, what we was thinking about, and then look at where it is now.
They don't be knowing how much goes into this, and when Monkey and Riches get messed up, and we don't want to put out we ain't trying to put out entertainment. We ain't trying to put out. We want to be like we want to vibe with the tribe and communicate and get stuff out. We're not just trying to make up shit as we go. We're really doing our research, and we're communicating with other people that are very, very intriguing to say the least, and powerful to say the least, and can start those conversations that they might speak on your behalf. So we most definitely, when things happen in this retrograde, it's happening to everybody. We all going through something. So have grace on each other, and let's keep on building. And if you got something to say, it's each one teach one, man. Tap in with us, man. I really need some poets. Man. So support you. And bro, you need to do a show too. You need to do your own poetry show. So shit.
Look, I'll come and drop. I got some pieces, man. I ain't did it like live in a long time, but I got some pieces that I wrote throughout my
Pull up. Shit. Pull up. We doing Def Comedy Jam. You know what I'm saying? Pull up.
Yeah.
We going to the whole thing and talk that shit to where we talking to people the way we used to talk to people, where we talk to people with love, where we talk to people for celebration. Like we were trying to damn be something bigger than their program. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. See y'all Thursday. Friday. See y'all next time. Peace, God.
Yeah, that's real. Let me see. Actually, what's the vibe of the theme like for the event, for the spoken word piece or event?
It's my first time doing it. Be honest with you. So it's the first time doing it. I ain't seen nobody do it before. So right now, ain't nobody else doing it. It's the same way we're doing it live right now. I'm gonna send the link. So if you hit me up and tell me you want it, I'll send you the link. And then each person can get 1 to 2 poems on there. So maybe 10 to 12 minutes, I guess. And then, I mean, the live is 2 hours. So let each one of them get it until they, you know what I'm saying? Whoever has the best one, I'll give them a free piece just off the love for whatever piece they want to, you know what I'm saying, pick from. And just like that, just to bring back poetry. If nothing else, can we get the people that appreciate poetry? You ain't got to do, you know what I'm saying? If you don't want to be nowhere else, you just want to hear good poetry, let's try that night. It's the first time I did it, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's gonna be great because I know a lot of great poets already that they say they're gonna support. If you pull up Friday night, it's gonna start at 7. I'm gonna just send whoever come up first. I'm gonna send the link. After we get on, I can't send a link because it'll block me off. So I'm gonna try to now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna try to get as many people as I can get in. So if you're serious, come. Or if you just want to come watch, you ain't got to damn perform. Nobody's gonna disrespect you. I know how hard it is to get up there and speak and perform. Nobody's gonna disrespect you. We're gonna roast their ass all the way into infinity. Like ain't nobody gonna say nothing about you. It's a safe place. Express yourself. Express whatever you want to express. You don't always got to be pretty, but shit, I do want more positivity than anything else though. Like get back onto it. So that's all I'm saying. Say Thursday is gonna be Sis is going hard with the mental health counseling, and she's gonna be on your show soon too. And she's putting down for the 5%ers and Timbuktu in Atlanta. She's Supreme Understandings General. So shout out Rebel Divine. She's gonna be on your emotional intelligence thing, and she's gonna be breaking it down from her perspective of Mayat energies and things of divine feminine nature. So I want to just give her the floor and let her do what she want to do.
Sure. Yeah, man, I got some pieces. I had pulled up my little catalog just now, but I'm gonna save 1 or 2 of them. Matter of fact, I might challenge myself to write some new work actually. But either way, I'll pull up, bro. I got some pieces I don't mind sharing. Just just show up and show out, show love and support, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
No, for real, I'm serious.
I know, man. Appreciate that. It's gonna be love. It's gonna be fun. Like just have fun. It ain't serious. We always on here. We always being serious because we're not comedians and we're not entertainers. So if nothing else, we can give you poetry. That's something from the soul. That's all we know how to do is give you something from the soul on some griot type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's facts. Yeah, send me the link. I'll definitely tap in, man. Like I said, just each one teach one. United we stand, about it we fall. it's always gonna be in my book. Collaboration over competition, man. Like that's how I roll. So with that, tribe, I appreciate all of y'all. Appreciate the love and support. Orisha Stone, appreciate you, bro. We're gonna make it do what it do in the very near future, man. I look forward to Friday coming and tapping in, man, and supporting the mission and the plan and dropping a few bars and making it do what it do, fam.
Yeah. Well, all right, guy, man, appreciate it.
Likewise. All right, tribe. So this has been another episode of the African Spirituality Experience. I am your host, Orisha Bami. We'll see y'all on the next episode. We out, family. Odabo. Peace.
Ẹni tó gbàgbé ilé ṣàpò ìyàgbọ́ tẹ́ǹtì ẹni takísà ní tàtàn ò bá padà sílé anítìjàkọ ẹja lọ pé eégún mo ṣe ní gbẹ́rẹ́ ìpàkọ́ forsake not your ancestors and praise your.